What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? You guys smash the like button. Let's go ahead. Let's get this started. Welcome to live trading, and let's go ahead and get the show on the road. Winner, winner. Or is there anybody gonna get that chicken dinner?
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas law, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part? It's beatable.
What's going on, traders? Welcome to it. Yes, let's go ahead. Let's get it started. Let's take a look at the market, see what we see out there. You guys let me know what's going on out there, guys. Yes, Kevin looks like he's a little tired, but want to look at Lucid and Apple? Hey, can't blame you. What's going on, Master Stonks? Martine in the house. Natalie bringing in F and Plug. Let's definitely take a look at those. Rocky Mountain Gobblers, good morning. How we doing out there? If you guys are new to the show, say hello, smash that thumbs up, and do me the favor, hit the share button down below. Let everybody know we do this live trading absolutely for free, and we're ready to get into the market and see what we see out there. Good morning, Mr. Giggles, Shannon, and Raul. Looks great to see you guys in here. Love to see the loyals in the chat. Definitely Beach Bum. Rashad, how we doing out there? If you're new, say hello, guys. We love definitely our viewers out there. Slayer, what's up, man? Let's get it going. All right, Action Jackson, definitely. Let's go ahead. If you guys got a stock you guys want to take a look at, throw it up in the chat. I'll be doing a lot more stocks from the chat today. Looks like I don't know exactly if I'll be having Zunaid join in. He should be joining up. But for right now, I know Ryan's out for the week. He's having a vacation. So you guys let Ryan know a big welcome and kind of a holiday love. So give him a thumbs up, even though he's not here. Let's keep going. Looks like a lot of stocks being mentioned. I want to start getting into the market and seeing what we're seeing out there. If you guys want me to do anything different today, definitely let me know in the chat, because I'm going to have a little bit more time to spend with you guys. So let's go ahead and let's have some fun. All right, so I'm going to throw myself at the bottom of this so that you guys could definitely see here. Let me take off this comment so you guys can see what we're looking at in the SPY, right? So we've gone up here before, right? And we failed up here around this 470. That's the price point to watch today. Now that we're back above the 470s, we really need to watch for that 470 line to hold on pullbacks. So I would pull an hourly chart, and you can see every time that we've gone up here, we failed to hold this. So we're going to look for pullbacks to 470 or a breakout from this 470. So let's make sure that we're holding towards that 470, not letting it go below that if we're trading on the bullish side. Because if we're trading bullish, we want to see the SPY take off here through the 470s, start heading on up there towards, let's say, 478. That would get us out of this sideways pattern that we've been stuck in for about 2 months now. Let's see what happens today. If we break below this 470, I might be looking for some shorts. Hopefully, I don't have to be going into my shorting mode. I don't want to bring the dark side in today. I want to bring the light. Let's go ahead. Let's look at some longs. QQQs, also very similar look. 400 is the price point to watch there. We need to get it above 400 and hold. Close above 400 today would be a great sign. Let's take a look at how the sectors have been looking, right? And so here we got consumer cyclical sector has been coming back on up on the hourly. Let's take a look at the daily. 3 days straight up for consumer cyclicals. Be careful. It needs to continue going through here for us to keep going on up. Industrials also looking like a little bit of a bounce back. We'll see if it's able to hold above this 3,700 and continue on its way up. Let's take a look. Basic materials have been pushing out. I'd be looking for this one to continue making moves into the January time. Stocks that we can take a look at in here. Copper has been recently taking a nice lift. Look for that to continue making the moves. Aluminum making moves. So we could take a look at AA today. We'll see if this one can continue. Look at the daily trend on this one. I was calling out this one just last week, and look how it's really been taking off. You could also look at U.S. Steel. US Steel. Let's see if this one can get moving today. I'll actually keep watching this one today to see if we get some volume to get back in here. I'm going to look for a push above this level. 2344s will activate my alert. I'll let you guys know if I see anything. All right, so that's pretty much what I'm seeing out there. I'm going to be looking to see if technology can continue pushing on up. Stocks that are important are like Adobe and Microsoft. Let's see if these can continue pushing. You saw Microsoft reclaim this kind of trend line. Now we don't want to see it go below this. We want to try to get up towards the 340s. That's going to show you strength overall in tech. I'll be looking for AMD also to take out 150s today. So we'll see if these guys can continue. NVIDIA also in play today. We'll see if that can get above 300. I'm going to try to do a little bit more trading since we got only myself here. But what we'll do is I'm just going to do smaller share size. And I'll use probably multiple accounts today to get a lot of the day trades in. We'll see what happens with NVIDIA. All right, let's go ahead. Let's do some stocks from the chat. I'm going to run through some of these, and I'm going to try to do it really quickly before the bell. We got about 15 minutes, so good morning, Cole. How we doing out there? How we doing, Matt Miller? It's good to see you guys. Keith, what's up? Joffrey, time to eat. I'm hungry. Let's get it going. Joffrey talking about AA. We just talked about that one. Julie bringing in the morning. How we doing? It's good to see you, Julie. All right, let's go ahead. Cody, Nando, bringing in Chewy and Palantir. So let's take a look at those two really quickly. Chewy, what do we see on Chewy? We see a kind of a bottoming action here by the 50s, trying to get back above 60 here. We'll see if it can get back above. Had kind of an inside day there. Let's let it get back above the high here if you want to chase above the 60s. So 60.11 on the breakout. Low is 56. So you get a good downside look if it goes to attack the low. So just be careful here. I would want it to hold 59 on pullbacks. So look for on the 15-minute. You see how we're kind of on this sideways trend. We got a resistance right up here by 60. You got this kind of support down here by 58.58s. Let's see, maybe a small tick down by 58.80s and then right back above 59 going towards 60. You can take that look in Chewy. We'll see what happens there. Palantir looking interesting right now, looking like it wants to pull back a little bit. For it to be bullish, it needs to get back above here. So let's say back above 19. Right now, it looks like it's on a pullback to support. Could it find some support here at 84s or 76, 1876, 1875? And then we'll see if it gets back up there towards 19. Right now, it looks like it's on a little bit of a pullback. Genie being mentioned in the chat. I'm still stuck in this one, guys. I've been having this one long term. I'm still not adding on this one. I've been waiting for a little while to get an add. I'll be looking for a pullback to 725s and then kind of holding down there. Eventually, I do think this one can get back towards 11. That's why I'm holding on, guys, and we'll see what happens in Genie. mbot being mentioned here. This is a rocket of the day. We'll see what happens in this one. I'll keep my eye in this one, Richard. But definitely this one's going to be moving fast. So just be careful out there with mbot. Has made a move already in the pre-market, about 78% at the top. So look for a pullback here. We're going to look for a pullback on the retracement here. Let's draw the retracement, see what the levels are pointing to. 50% says down towards 750s, 38.2 at near that $8. So that's what I'd be looking for, or maybe a pullback to this 866, which is only a 23.6 pullback. We'll see what happens on these. This is mbot. Apple being mentioned in the chat also. Let's take a look here. Apple trying to get back above 175. Look for a little bit of a pullback, I think, towards 175, but definitely looks like it wants to go ahead and get strong here and take out 180s. Big thing for me on this one is just watch the Qs. If the Qs want to take out 400, I think eventually you get the Apple move, the Apple move that you're looking for, and it gets through that 180. Tesla has been super strong lately. I talked about this 900 buy area for so long, this box right here. In this area, you could have been buying, already making about 200 points back up there towards the resistance. I think it could get to 1100, but you guys are going to run into a little bit of resistance there. We'll see what happens in Tesla today. All right, let's keep going. Thumbs up. Let's go ahead. Where's the energy? Let's keep it going. So ready for the 2022 year, says Julie. I agree with you. I'm definitely focusing on that. Today is really not so much about 2020. 2021. What we're going to do is we're going to be wrapping up the year. Yes, we can make some trades today, but like always, guys, let's focus in on our next year, know what we're going to do better and what we're going to improve on. This is that week to really go ahead and nail down What are you going to do differently next year and how we can continue trading? All right, let's go ahead. Shout out. Let's go. All right, so Tesla being mentioned, D-Dog being mentioned in the chat. Some other ones being mentioned too. I'm trying to get through a bunch of these. Let's go ahead. So D-Dog was mentioned in the chat. So let's take a look at that. Datadog. Looks like it's trying to take out the resistance there. There's a trend line here that it's tried to get above here, which is sitting at right at that 180s. We don't want it to come back down towards this 175. We want it to take out the highs here. So the two highs that we're looking for is 182. And then past that, we're going to look for 183.31s. We'll see what happens on this one today. I would definitely take a look at this hourly chart. You have this uptrending slope line. You want it to continue following. If it does pull back, it needs to hold the support, which is down towards 177.74. We'll see what happens today in Datadog. All right, what's going on out there? Beach Bum, interesting that both vaccine and travel stocks are down, huh? Yeah, it definitely is interesting. I'll definitely take a look there. Min CCO, sorry, Elon, but Dodge failed to be the first in space. Yeah, I got to say a failure there. We'll see what happens with the Elon. You know he'll come out with some nice text or some nice tweets. Upstart being mentioned here. Let's take a look here. Upstart, UPST. All right, let's take a look here. We're trying to get above 150s and hold. As you can see, this one did get back above that 150. Nice kind of rounding bottom here, trying to get back towards the 160, I think, on the resistance side. The real question is, this is definitely calling a bottom. The question is this the bottom? It's not a bad thing to go after, I think. You know, one thing you got to really pay attention is nearby resistance and where we can run into it. So I think we can get up there towards 157.50s today, but you could run into some resistance there. But that does give us a little bit of a push here. So you could see a push out from 152s towards that 157, which is about a 5-point move. And then you're looking on the downside about 2 points or 4 points if it gets down towards 148. So definitely be careful there in Upstart. All right, what's going on out there? What's up? What's up? Ready for the volatility, says Cole. I think you and I both, brother. Let's go ahead. Volatility is a good thing. It helps us trade, and we'll see what happens there. Tuna for Tua. Oh, man, I'm kind of upset. I was going to wear my Dolphins jersey. I'll have it on later today, but hey, we'll see what happens. Oshkosh, I know you mentioned pins in pre-market prep, so sorry I wasn't able to get to it in pre-market prep, but let's go ahead. Let's take a look at it here. Let's take a look at the daily chart here. Daily has it kind of leveling out. This could be one of those ones that, like kind of Dennis was mentioning, that they're just really extremely on the downside, so you could see some pop coming back to these. This just one's really trying to find some support down here towards the 35 price point. So you can look at this 35. I actually would not try to trade it unless it really broke out of this trend here. So you see this downward trend here. We're kind of in a bear pennant here, and you need to get above in this area for me to think bullish. For right now, it looks like it's wanting to come back down towards 35. Test this one more time. Then if it comes back towards that level, back towards 38.50s, we'll go ahead and try to get long on this one. It's just looking like it's trying to get back, but it hasn't really gotten that lift to get this going. So I'll see if this one could catch that lift today. That's pins. Let's keep going. Let's see what else is mentioned in the chat. Dobo, AMD, Alex, we talked about that one. BFRI. This one was a major mover. So let's take a look at this one. Let's see what happens. We drew this kind of flag on the daily. I wasn't here to watch this move, but it looks like on Tuesday and through Thursday, you did pretty decent. You had an inside day, then it came back, tested kind of this body low, then came right back above 12. So that's the level that I'd be watching for now. I wanted to, if it tests this 12, it's okay, but you can't go below that. Let's take a look at the hourly here. You can see here on the hourly, what do we have? We have multiple tries to get through resistance here. One try, one down, two tries, two down, three tries to get above. We don't want it to get below this 12.12, but it could chop here, get to 13.96, get down towards 13.50s, and then break out. We'll see what happens on this one. BFRI. mrna, All right, I'll go ahead and I'll get one more stock in here. We'll see what happens on this one. This one could break down, really. It's not really looking strong. It looks like it wants to break down towards the 230s. Just be careful with this one. It could find some leveling out here before it has, but definitely looking like it wants to come down towards support. All right, catching up with the chat. What's going on out there? There's so many stocks just rolling through. That's what I like to see. I'll keep going as much as I can. I might need to take a quick breath for a second here. Let me take a little sip of some coffee. Pinky up, guys. Let's go ahead and have a good market day. Looks like we got over 500 people watching right now. If you guys can do me the favor, guys, smash that like button as we keep going in here. We're going to go ahead and trade live for you guys. Now, do me the favor. Smash up that like. Get them on up there, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's keep on trading out there. I need to go ahead and reshare my screen here with some sounds so I can get you guys a little bit of music today. I don't mind getting a little bit of music. I think we're going to need it. I'm going to wait till the market opens, wait a little bit into it. Then I'll bring the music so that you guys can control it a little bit. Devo is going to pump, says Pablo. The gas. Let's take a look there and see what we see. All right, let's go ahead. Let's see what we're getting in Devo. I don't even know what this is. I don't even have it. Let me know about that Debo one. I don't even know what it is, but we'll see what happens. George P being mentioned. Let's go. Square being mentioned in the chat. Let's take a look here. Square is one that still hasn't caught that bottom, guys. I know a lot of people have been looking for these stocks to catch the bottom. It actually came back down last week with the bullish market. You would have thought that we would be back up here, and you're really not. So take care. One of these that I would watch that is holding up is Visa. Visa was holding up. You can see it completely different than the other ones. The other ones are hanging down by those lows. Look how this has been trending upwards. So this is going to be my indicator also. If this comes down into this area, I'm going to be thinking bearish for those stocks like PayPal and Square and MasterCard. But if this keeps going up and trending, I'll think this is going to actually help these other ones catch a bid, and you'll see them start getting back on up. So like, let's say MasterCard, you see it also up here, right? You see how I've drawn this line? This is what we're looking to see if we're trading it on the bear side. Okay, so we'll see if we get these kind of breakdown looks. But like always, draw kind of a trend line to tell yourself, okay, if it breaks there, let's say through that 350 today, that's where I would be looking for downside action. If not, then these could start reversing, like Square and PayPal could catch that bid there down by 200 and then really start getting back on up. We'll watch these towards the open. Raymond talking about puts on Nicola. When it reaches $14. Nicola is one that I'll be watching definitely today. It looks like it could come back down. It looks like it's trying to break out of a flag pattern right here in the morning. What I always do is point out the rule of three for you guys. So the first bottoming action, second bottoming action, third bottoming action. And what do we look for? We look for support to hold. It actually tested down towards the support here and actually broke through a little bit. As you can tell, we broke through this 1175. You usually don't get that breakout. That's kind of a fake down look, and then just starts pushing on up. So now we need to make sure that it holds 1185s on pullbacks and can get through that 12 at the open. I'll definitely keep watching this one, Nicola. It's already moving a significant amount. Keep your eyes on it. What's up out there? Let's go ahead. All right, you guys out there, what's going on? How was the holidays? Let me know, guys. Did you guys get some good gifts from Santa? Are we getting the Santa rally? We'll definitely pay attention and see if we can get that Santa rally today. I'm going to be watching to see what happens on Nicola. Let me go ahead and get set up here. We got about 2 minutes left for the bell. I'm going to get ready to go ahead and trade live here. So you guys do me the favor. Smash that like button. Let's keep going and trading live. I'm going to go ahead and put on a little bit of a little teaser video. Hope you guys enjoyed your holidays and a little bit of Home Alone Mitch action.
You guys give up?
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
All right, you filthy animals out there. I hope you guys are trading well. We'll see what happens in the market today. Like always, we're going to keep trading, and we'll also do a little bit of indicator talk today. Today, we're going to talk about the MFI. That's the money flow index. We'll talk a little bit about that and market breadth. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at the market breadth as of recent. I haven't been able to take a look at the 200-day moving average data. This is my important look. We're actually getting a little bit closer towards the bullish. Last time I looked was 62% below SMA 200. Now we're at 57.5. We want this actually to get closer towards 50 and start seeing the trend change. One of the things to pay attention to also is the SMA 50. The total stocks that are below the SMA 50 is 64%. Let's see this get back underneath 60% to show us that we're getting a bullish sense in the market. Here's the bell, guys. We're about a couple seconds here towards the bell. We need about 10 seconds here. I wish you guys the best out there, guys. Do what you know best. Stick to your system. That's what it's all about. Like always, guys, let's keep going. Let's get into the market. Here's the bell. Here's the bell. It never fails. Let's go ahead. You guys are out there. I wish you guys the best and keep trading out there. All right, guys, if you guys see a stock moving out there, definitely let me know.
Come on, guys. Early worm gets the worm.
That early worm gets the worm. Yes, you guys got that right. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going. Let's get into the market. I hope you guys the best. Rockets on up. Let's go ahead and see what moves here. Nicola is going to be the first stock on the watch here. Nicola trying to hold that 1190 pullback here. We might just take a little scalp here in Nicola. All right, seeing this pullback towards 1180s here. It might take this 1190s, look for a push towards 12, but I'm looking for a pullback through here to hold the resistance at 1170. A little tick down towards 1170, and then I'm going to look for a swing right back on up here. All right, guys, so I'm going to put the 1 minute up here. I'm going to be talking a little fast, guys. It's only me today, so I'll do my best to try to show you guys what I'm looking at in the market. All right, guys, so a little bit of a pullback there towards 1190s. We're going to look for a little bit of a pullback here, and then we're going to get into Nicola. We'll see if we can get that action that we're looking for. Someone stepping up here. All right, looking for some big orders here. It looks like someone stepped up there. 1193s, 13,000 shares. Now let's look for a pressure down towards 1180. And then when we swing back through the 90s, we're going to actually get long here. I want to see a tick down towards that 1180s, almost going towards the 1170s, and then right back on up. Here's that 1170 starting to show up. We'll see what happens with this. What's going on out there in the chat, guys? Trying to keep up with the chat. You guys out there, let me know if you guys see something moving right out the gates. I got losing scratch tickets. Hey, we'll see what happens here. There you guys have it. It cracked the 1170s. We needed to come back up through 1190s here for us to get long. If not, we'll actually be looking for the breakdown here if it continues to go through 1150s. Here's that swing there at the 1170s that I talked about. This is what we're going to be looking for. And it needs to get back above 1180s here, then through the 1190s through 12. We'll see what happens here. Starting to catch that bid there near that 1170. You could take a shot here off of, let's say, 1160s, but I don't like that look. I like to let it get a little bit more bullish, and then I'll take the attempt. FSIL long into winter. All right, definitely. I'll take a look at that one. You guys let me know what you guys are seeing out there. If you guys see a big move, I will tell you guys that right out the gates, what do we have moving? So technology is actually doing decent right now. I'm going to look at some of the stocks that are doing well in that name right now. So you're talking about AVCT, IMTE, HLTH, LGL. And then we'll see what happens with these. Looks like we're getting that knockdown in Nicola. It didn't want to get back above that 1170s. So I'm watching right now to see if it's going to break 1150s on the downside. Technology really pushing on up. You can tell from there. Industries that are hot right now, consumer electrics. So look for that. Apple doing well up there straight towards the 178s. So if you want to take a look at Apple, look for a pullback to VWAP 177.50s. We'll see if it gets back on up there. Sony doing well today also. I thought this one would do well. I was thinking about I called out a swing trade last kind of Tuesday on this one. Why? Because the PS5, I think, is going to push this one to the next level. Doing well right now. All right, let's take a look. Healthcare up, some stocks in healthcare up a significant amount, guys. You guys can look around. CLGN is an interesting one. Massive move right out the gates. It had a huge move up here. Now pulling on back. We'll see what happens with this CLGN. This is definitely a lower float trade, kind of a trappy stock. Just be careful there, guys. It did make a massive move on up, though. All right, Nicola trying to hold those 1160s. We talked about 1150 for a breakdown to look for shorts. We'll see if it can break that 1150 now. It's about to go through it. It went to 1159, held there. We'll see what happens on Nicola. Let's go back to Nicola here. This chart was interesting. We'll see what happens on this one. Coming on back here, we'll see if it gets back above 1180s. That's where it needs to do on the bullish side. If it breaks 1150s, we're going to start looking for shorts for a little push back and then a short on the name. All right, let's go ahead and catch up with the chat. Palantir being mentioned in the chat. PLTR. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Palantir looking interesting. Starting to push back on up there. Daily chart has a nice bottoming action towards that 1884. There's actually kind of a nice bottoming level here to go off of 1874. So that's a downside look here, 1874. You can see here how we've been trying to get through this resistance. 19 is going to be very important here. We'll see what happens in Palantir. I might actually like this Palantir one here. 10,000 shares going through there at 1890s. Let's go ahead. Let's take a little bit of shares here at 19. Look to hold towards 1890s here. Let's do a little scalp trade here. Long there at that 19s. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, so we're looking for this to push through 19s here. We're going to hold towards 1890s on pullbacks. So I don't want it below 1890s. We want to get it back above 19, start pushing on up there towards 1910. We'll see what happens here in Palantir. CLGN pullback. There you go, BF. Do what you can do best, guys. I hope you guys are the best out there. We're looking to see if this kind of Palantir can catch that bid here at 19. I did see some shares go through there, so that's why I took my long. We'll see if it can continue up there towards 1910s here. GoDaddy doing decent. This was a stock that we mentioned on pre-market prep. Had a starboard investment holding really well there. It actually did a nice little push right out the gates, about 4%. Still holding really well. FSIL also doing decent. Trying to hold that support there. This one already made a massive move in pre-market. We'll see if it holds kind of 675s here. That's what I'd be looking for it to hold. That's exactly what this level went to, 677. We'll see if it comes back down towards 680s again, and then eventually starts ticking back up. All right, rejection there to get above 19. We'll see if this can hold here and get above 19. If not, I'll get out in Palantir right now. We're watching this one to see what happens here. I want to go to Nicola also to see what happened on Nicola. Nicola broke down big through that 1150 area that we talked about. Let's look for a pushback towards the 1172s, and then I can get short on the name. We'll see what happens here. All right, going to catch up with the chat and also with the sectors. So technology still up about 0.52. Right behind that, consumer defensives, then consumer cyclical. On the downside today, we have energy and communication services. So we could look for like maybe a drip play. Look how this is up today. Nice little look through the 560s. I'll look for a pullback to 550s on drip. This is kind of the opposite on oil trade. We'll see if this can hold here and make a push to 590s today. All right, guys, I'm looking at this Palantir here coming back towards 19. We're going to go ahead and look for the scalp here right above 19s. We're already in 19s. We're looking for a continued momentum through this 19 here. All right, guys, trying to keep up with everything. And you guys in the chat, Laura is calling out EMPH. Not a bad one to take a look at. I know that Solar has made a big, decent pullback as of late. We'll see if this one can get back above 190s. Let's take a look here. Hourly chart just has it going sideways as of late. We'll see if it can break out or break down from these levels. That's what I would be paying attention to. So 186 on the downside, and upside, I'd be looking for 192 192s to hold, or 191.22s to hold above. All right, guys, going to take a little bit more here in Palantir, looking for that break of 19 right now. We'll see what happens on this one. If it breaks through 1895s now, we're actually going to get out of the name. We'll look for that extension through 19s here, and then we'll look to take some profit into the move here. Does some more volume going through there on the 19s. I got 10,000 shares at 1897. We want that to start holding. 1890s for sure to hold now. We're getting a test down towards that 95s, 94s. We need this to hold here and then get back above 19s. If not, we've got to go ahead and get on out. Let me go ahead and put it up here. Palantir on the bottom chart here. Looking for this to hold here on this pullback, get back above 19s here. Let's see if we can get that level to really hold here and then get back above that 19. We'll see if this 1890s can hold on pullbacks and get back above. We don't want this 1890s to hold. We want a next candle to come through that 19 and push through that 1905. Highs on above VWAP, says Mauricio. I'll definitely try to put some other charts here so that you guys can follow along. Let me know if you guys actually follow along with this right-hand side sector stuff. If not, I can put a chart up there on the right-hand side. You guys in the chat, let me know. All right, there you go, guys. We got a nice little recovery there of the 95s here. Now we just want to see this break through the 19s here, and then we could take some profit above there, ripping through. If you measure out, you got about a 40-cent move here, or a 20-cent move from the breakout. So I'm looking for that 20-cent move here above 19s. So 1920s would be max profit. We're looking to take some off near 1910 and then let the rest of it just run. Back through 19s now. Let's go ahead. Let's get this through. We got long on this one down towards here. We're getting it through 1907s here. Going to put out an order to sell some here in 1909s. All right, so now we just want to see that VWAP hold on Palantir. As long as the VWAP holds, we're looking good here. So the VWAP's down towards 1894. We're looking for that next extension on up through the 1910s, up there towards 1920s. Order out to sell some there. Boom. Just sold half of it there at 1910 or 1909s. So let's go ahead. Let's see the next one make that move. All right. Chart says Big Sparks. I got you, man. I'll put up another chart here on the right-hand side for us. All right, let's go ahead. Let me pull up some of those charts. I got you. I have some more charts over here that I can pull up. Sorry about the background right now. All right, let me move this one over to the left side of Palantir. All right, guys, so I got another chart up there. I'm going to pull this to the right so it stops bothering us. Now we got Palantir here on the right-hand side. I'm going to keep watching to see if we can get towards the 1920s. SPY doing really well here on the left-hand side. And I might even pull a third chart here. Let's go ahead. Let's pull this third chart up. Here you go, guys. So 3-chart action look here for you guys. If you guys have stocks you guys want me to keep on up, I will go ahead and do so myself. So Nicola was another one that we were taking a watch, right? We're going to look for a pullback to VWAP to get short. We'll see what happens on this one. It would be 1175 resistance, 1165 entry. We'll see if this one can hold there. Like always for Palantir now, it's break even on the rest. So we don't want it to go down below 19. We want it to keep going through 1907s, get towards 1920s. Below 19s, I'll go ahead and I'll get out of the rest of the shares, take the rest of the shares break even. I did take a nice profit on the first move. All right, so another stock that was taking a look, Lucid, being mentioned in the chat. Yes, support test is very important right here at this 36.45. You're seeing it right now. Definitely dipping down. We'll see if this one can hold through the lows or come back towards VWAP. VWAP is at 36.62. It's definitely a down day there, and Lucid getting flushed down. All right, Nicola almost getting back on up there towards the levels that we're looking for. We'll see if that one can continue trading. I'm going to actually start setting up a stop here for Palantir. I don't want it to get below 19 here, so we'll see. I'm going to put a stop here just in case we get stopped out here. Actually watching it right now because it's at 19. All right, it just held 19s. All right, VWAP is actually closer up here now towards 1896, guys. So that's where we're going to set our stop here. We're going to set a stop 1890. The stop is at 1897. The limit is at 1896. And we're going to put that sell there, and we're just going to leave it. All right, guys, have it out there. We'll see what happens on Palantir. I'm going to go ahead and look at Nicola as it gets back towards the VWAP. We'll look to see if we can get short on Nicola. Right there at the 63s. It already went to 63 once. Might have to get short right now here at the 50s. Look for the add. All right, I took a little bit of shares right there. I'm looking for a push up here to add. But if I just get this like quarter size fill, I'll be okay here. Starting to get short here on Nicola here. So it just got short a little bit there I got a fill of 1151s. So if it just flushes down here, it's okay. I'll just take the profit on the smaller share size. But I'm looking for this to keep on going up, or keep on coming down here towards the low, the 1130s. Lucid coming back towards the VWAP. We'll see if that one maybe we can get short also, which would be 3660s. And I'd hold probably for this 3668 resistance, maybe even 3670 as the out. Looking for an entry near this 3660. Price action coming back here on Nicola pretty fast here, so don't want to see it get too strong here at the 1150s. If not, we could get a spike on up. All right, guys, testing back down towards the 40s. Let's see it crush through the 30s here. All right, what's going on out there? What's up? What's up? Good job on Con. Keep it going, meme. You guys in the chat, guys, if you guys see anything you're going to want to call out the pattern, what you're trading. Definitely it'll help other traders in the chat. So I appreciate you guys out there if you're able to go ahead and do so. All right, looking for Nicola to keep flushing here. Also, Palantir doing well here, guys. Almost towards the 1920s where we're going to take some profit. It's at 1907, trying to hold 1905s here on pullbacks. Needs to get through 1910 on the upside. We'll look for a 1920 upside move. That's where we're going to take max profit. Nicola is not breaking through the 40s here. We need a flush through the 40s. If not, we'll get out at 1150 and look for a re-entry. But we need a flush down through the 1130s right here. There you guys have it. I'll draw it out right here, guys. This is the trade. It's a bounce up, fade off of that. So we're looking for it to take out the lows here at 35s and 30s. If it takes that out, we'll have a good trade here. Palantir now pushing up there on the 1910s. We're looking for this one to get on out at 1920s. We'll see if it gets back through that 1910. If not, we really want it to hold 19 now. I don't want to even see a test back down there. All right, all right. Looks like I have AB in the back joining in a second. AB, you give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready to join, and we'll go ahead and bring you on, my friend. What's up, my friend? What's up?
What up, Money Mitch? How's your Christmas?
Hey, not bad at all, man. Enjoying it. You know, the only thing we can do is get back into the market. So, oh yeah, ready to go ahead and get it going here. Maybe $1 million. Can we get it? Can we get it, AB?
Let's get it. Let's get after it.
All right. All right. So you guys know AB does a little day trading options a lot. So he got a little in trouble for that. So we'll see if he's able to nail a trade. How was your last week? I wasn't able to be here. Any trade that you're looking at right now?
Right now, last week was pretty quiet. I didn't trade that much.
Killing right now. This Nicola short here. Just want to call that out.
I love that. Right now, I'm looking at some weekly calls on Meta, Facebook, ticker FB. So okay. I don't know if everyone saw, but over the weekend.
Half off on Nicola. Let's keep going. Got you. I'll put Facebook on the left-hand side here.
There we go. Over the weekend, actually, Oculus's app on the Apple App Store skyrocketed to, at one point, was the most downloaded free app. So what that tells us is that a lot of people got Oculuses for Christmas. and went out and downloaded the app. I checked this morning. It looked like a couple apps maybe above Oculus now, but it's still third on the App Store. Yep. So I like Facebook here. It was showing some strength today. It kind of came off its highs already, but I think we will see higher highs today. And the other interesting thing is if you look at Facebook on a longer term chart, it's well off of its highs from a few months ago. So let's check. A few months ago, let's see, it was all the way up around 380 and it's at 340 right now. Mm-hmm. And this is while S&P and NASDAQ are near at all-time highs. So what that tells me is that Facebook has room to kind of catch up with the rest of the pack when it comes to these big tech companies. Obviously, Facebook has had some problems throughout the last year that some of these other companies haven't had. But the Oculus and the AR VR department is my bull case for Facebook.
I agree. I mean, if there's anything that is going to help them out, right, it's what they did, right? They changed the name to Meta, right? They need to get into the meta, right? They need to start bringing some things that actually kind of change around the view of Facebook, right? Everyone knows Facebook as what? A social app, right? Right now. But what if they become the leader in VR, right? The leader in that Oculus game. And if they become the leader, they can start changing around their brand recognition to not just be a social brand, but also just be that leader in the gaming department, which can make people want it. I know they were working on a Grand Theft Auto version for Oculus. Wouldn't that be awesome, maybe?
Well, I'll take that one step further. You said if they do become the leader. I think right now they are the clear leader when it comes to AR, VR, and gaming. I mean, the Oculus is by far and away the best and most comprehensive gaming platform. And it's going to be a race, between Microsoft and between Sony to see who puts out, an AR, VR supported Xbox or PlayStation. But right now, Oculus is filling that hole. Look at Master of Stonks in the chat. He said, I bought one yesterday after playing one, talking about Oculus. RM saying he'd buy one if they had GTA 5. So I think we're going to continue seeing Facebook invest in that space. There was an article a couple months ago that came out just about how much of their R&D and employees, they've moved over a bunch of employees from Facebook to Oculus. And they basically, what you can infer from that is just that, okay, they're investing heavily into this space. This isn't like a little spin-off for Facebook, like a tiny little, I mean, they changed their name to Meta, like you said, Mitch, like exactly. They are investing hard into this. I think if you look at the financials of the Oculus, it looks very good. So I like Facebook from here at about like what's it at right now? 343. Mm-hmm. I like it all the way up, I like it through this week, but then also just as like maybe a month or two long swing trade. I could see us easily getting back up to those all-time highs that we saw in September in the next few weeks.
Perfect. I like the look, like the story. I'm all about the story, AB. So I appreciate you not only telling me that I'm long the stock, but why. Okay, guys, we're looking for Palantir here to rip through 1910s here, get towards the 1920. I have an order out there to sell there. We'll look to nail that trade and finish this trade on out. That's the Palantir long. Nicola just working for us, guys. So I'm just holding Nicola at break even now on the rest. We only got a quarter size on this short, but this is why I took the quarter size. I didn't want to miss out on the action. Understood my risk there. And that I could get up there towards the 1175. Now it looks like we could take out the 11s here. We're short from the 1151. We're just going to hold off that 1150s. And if it comes back there, yeah, we'll get out. But we can let this work now and try to break through the 11s and get to the next level down. All right, so Facebook also coming back to its VWAP. I do like that look. You've gotten what? One up, one down move, a 2 up, 2 down move, a 3 up. It just needs to hold the support here on the pullback. So let's say 342s or even the VWAP 341.64. Then I can think it could take out that 344. That's what I would be looking for on the upside. Nicola looking like it's trying to take out that 11. For Palantir, we don't want it to break through break-even pricing, which is 19 here. No matter what, we'll get out at 19. If not, we're getting out at our profit, which is 19.20. Let's take a look at Lucid. It's been really getting crushed here. I was looking for it to bounce towards VWAP. It didn't even get close, guys. It got crushed there. It's down towards 35.68. It's definitely getting hit hard there. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some of the other stocks out there that are trading what is going on in the market out there and what can I see trading right now? What's moving? Okay, so if we look here at technology for the day, that's still our leading sector. So I would definitely be looking at technology names. What industries are doing good? So you got semiconductors doing well right now. So of course I would look at AMD and let's say NVIDIA. But let's take a look at some other names that are doing well today. So I'll pull this to his left here. So you got AOSL doing well today, trading up there towards 58.50s, trying to get through kind of this 58.50s, pulled back towards VWAP, did bounce off of that. It's a lower trade, but not a bad move there. Taking a look at some of these other changes, seeing if there's anything that stands out. HIMX, interesting chart there right off the VWAP. You can look to see if 1280s will hold on the pullback. Look for a pushback through 1290s, through the 13s. It's not a big move, but definitely there's something there. All right, another one that you could take a look at. Let's take a look at AMD. How's it doing today? Up 2.5%. Did make that push through 148 that we were looking for. Now up there towards 150s. Let's see if it holds the VWAP. It held VWAP perfectly there at 149.29. The low right now was 149.30s, showing you right there VWAP bounce play right off that bottom. Let's see if takeout at 150s and 150.50 to show you that it's going to get towards that 151 look.
Yeah, and I see Gene in the chat's asking about ATVI. Let's pull up that chart real quick. This chart looks good to me, actually, for at least.
If you want, you can bring your charts up if you want, AB.
You can do it. I
got you.
But ATVI, it's been in an uptrend since its bottom on December 2nd. It's gone up about 13%. The trend is your friend. The ATVI is in an uptrend right now. And it looks like the next kind of resistance that we could run into is right around $70, like 68, 69. So if you want to try to play this move from Activision up from 65 to 70, I don't mind that at all. I actually really like that. And I was playing Activision the past couple of weeks because I thought, maybe with rising COVID cases, more people are going to be at home playing video games. We saw a lot of these companies do really well during COVID. So no reason to think that, as cases rise, people won't be playing more Call of Duty.
Definitely. It's been on the rise. I think it's a little bit extended now. You might get a little bit of a pullback, but it's definitely one to watch. I mean, it got hit so hard, and this is one of the favorites in the gaming sector. So there you guys have it. AMD also doing well, guys. I'm going to actually pull the sectors off here. Let's get back towards some of these charts. I just took profit in Palantir, guys. So nice trade there in Palantir. Took profits at 19.18 versus 19.20. Canceled my order, got out. Took the profit. Not a bad trade there. Palantir here, PLTR from the 19s up there towards 1918. Took some profits at 1909s, and then we took some profit right now at that 1918. Not a bad scalp trade. 20 cents on that. Pretty much 18 cents. You can't go wrong with that. Not a bad trade there. All right, so Lucid starting to bounce back here. Also, Nicola starting to bounce back. We'll see what happens with Nicola. It did come back. It broke through 11. It went towards 1103. Still hasn't broken it on the downside. I'm looking to see if it breaks 11 on the downside. If not, we could get out here above, let's say, 1125s or 1130s.
Beautiful, yeah. And then I'm checking in on some other big tech names. Microsoft up more than 1%. Apple up about 0.6%. Amazon. Let's see what Amazon's doing. Amazon's pretty flat on the day, actually, after being up nearly 1% earlier. Pretty flat. It's been a strong day overall for the markets. This could be, that Santa rally that everyone's been looking for. We'll see if it continues throughout the week. But it's good to be back in the markets after having Friday off of last week. Let's check in on. I want to check in on NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is at 3. Oh, wow. Literally between the last time we were talking about semiconductors, Mitch, like 10 minutes ago, NVIDIA's broken out a little bit, went from up 2.15% to now up 2.87%. So I'll be watching NVIDIA throughout the day to see if we see a bigger breakout. We've seen this stock, have crazy days before where it ends up 5%, which is a huge move for a company of this magnitude. I mean, it's a $750 billion market cap company. So when you have a stock like that move that much in one day, it's pretty significant. And we have like all-time highs of 346.47. And we're only at 304 right now. So if we see strength continue in the semiconductor industry, I see no reason why NVIDIA can't get back up to those previous highs. And then once we do reach those highs, that's where you got to start looking for, okay, could we see a double top? Are we going to run into resistance, or could we break out of this resistance and move even higher?
Beautiful move there on the video. We were talking about it in pre-market for a 300 breakout. It's exactly what you got. Nice whole dollar breakout there. Now it's just holding above. As long as it closes above 300 today, I'm going to be feeling bullish on NVIDIA. You also saw AMD push through that 150. Beautiful VWAP bounce trade on that one. We were talking about looking for AMD on the upside today. Definitely a good day for tech. I got out of that Nicola trade right there. Told you guys above 1135s, I wanted to get out. It got right there towards 1136. I got out of the trade. I'll look for a push back towards VWAP to get short again, but I want to take the profits there just because at the end of the day, that's what it was for. That quarter share was just to try to get us some profit and then look to see if we can get back into the name.
Definitely. Yeah. And then another one that's always on my watch list, that if you guys are out there, you watch Benzinga live, you know that I'm always talking about this stock, but Alibaba up 1.3% today. It looks like it's coming back off those highs, so running into some weakness right now. But I'm still waiting. I'm waiting to get into this stock once I see like a sustained move up. So maybe a couple green weekly candles in a row to show me, okay, this downtrend is now reversed. Right now, I'm not confident in that yet. It's going to take more than just a couple green days in a row for me to feel good about Alibaba. What I do know is this stock is still wildly undervalued, currently a PE of less than 17. And the whole thing here is you're taking on risk of the China market as a whole, right? If you're buying BABA right now, you're betting that China will not continue cracking down on some of their companies the way they have been over the last year. You're betting that the China-U.S. business relation remains strong. And conversely, if you're shorting BABA, you're saying, okay, I'm very bearish on China. I think, the trade talks between U.S. and China are going to worsen. I think China is going to continue cracking down. If my gut says that in about a year or two, we'll look back and say, holy cow, I can't believe Alibaba was $120 a share.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. The one thing though that is hurting it is news like today, right? China putting out more news on IPOs, restrictions, and how foreign investments they're just not happy about, because companies like BABA and let's say JD, what they try to do a little sneak around in taxes and things like that. They put their money in, let's say, the Cayman Islands, and things like that. That's what China's trying to stop. They're saying pretty much like, if you're going to be for our people, that you got to keep the money here, essentially. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I think BABA could get underneath 100. If it does get underneath 100, I definitely will start picking it up for my long-term account. But I'll be watching it. I think, it's definitely down oversold levels. Could find the bid right here, but I'm going to be looking for an under 100 move in BABA. We'll see. I mean,
got it. Yeah, I don't know if it'll get all the way down there, but if it does, like you, I'll
call
be buying,
me a buyer.
I'll be buying under 100 for sure. I just would be so shocked if we don't see. I mean, we've seen some big buyers come in. Charlie Munger, I know, bought a lot of BABA, I think, when it was at around 140. So he's sitting on a little loss right now. I wonder if he'll be like dollar cost averaging his price in. All
right. So mentioned in the chat was you by multiple people, Sophia, Zach, Ari. I got you guys. I know you guys want to talk a little bit about you. So let's go ahead. Let's talk a little bit about Unity. So to me, Unity is in a long-term bullish chart, right? Long-term bullish chart, but it still now is in a intermediate bear trend for me. It needs to get back out of this trend here that you're starting to see show up. So to me, I would look for this to get out of this trend. It needs to get on the upside towards 152.60s for me to think the stock is bullish on the long term. If not, it could come back down towards the 200-day moving average, which is 135, create another bottoming effect so that you can get this kind of bottoming look down here towards 135 and then get right back on up. That's what I'll be looking for in Unity. I feel like right now it's in this sideways trend consolidation here. And if you kind of look at it on an intermediate, this is still kind of a bearish look. So you need to get it back towards that 152.60. All right, what's going on out there? What's a good option play today, says Chirmo. Not really the option guy, but who knows? Maybe AB can find something out there for us.
For some options trades? Yeah, I like I mentioned earlier, I like some weekly Facebook calls. So I'm looking at the let me see. So expiring. See, the problem with the weeklies this week is they expire on I guess on the 30th. Do we have? Yeah, never mind. We have a full week. So we have Friday. For some reason, I thought the 31st was Thursday. All right. So I'm looking at $345 calls. They're about $343 right now. Interestingly enough, almost the same price as the strike price. So I'm just picking up a couple of these. So spending about a little less than $700 on 2 calls for Facebook by the end of this week. I think we can look at tech overall today, right? You can look at NASDAQ or the QQQ and see it up about 1% right now and see Facebook up about 2%, showing that Facebook has some relative strength against other players in its industry. I think we'll see some more buyers come in throughout the week. So those are the calls I'm looking at right now. Someone was talking about Hood in the chat, which Hood's chart is pretty ugly, but when you look at it on the past, say, 3 weeks or so, it's been pretty flat, which is sometimes a sign that a bottom has been found and a reversal could be coming soon. So I still like to, when I see a bottom like this, wait for that reversal to start coming back up. And then once it starts coming back up, then riding it on that ride back up rather than just buying at the bottom, because then you could be stuck. Well, more so for options, because if you're buying at the bottom and it stays kind of trading straight, then your options become less valuable when it's just trading sideways, even if the stock's not going down.
Boom. I didn't want to interrupt too much there, but your Facebook trade setting up beautifully there. I almost even took it there off the VWAP here. 341.75. Nice support right underneath it. You can look right here on this bar right there around the 341.40s. There was some support. Nice hold of VWAP. You're looking for it to get back on up. What happens there on the tape? If you look on the tape, you see at 342.28, 20,000 shares. So that means look for him to get tested right here. So right now we're testing him, right? We're near his levels. He's going to get a test right now where he's going to feel a little bit of the pain. And then now we want to see that 342 hold on the pullback. If it breaks down beneath that 342, you want to see if it closes beneath that. Then he's going to get stuck. But if it gets back above that 342.20, he's actually going to be looking for that upside move, and he could even add on the position. So we'll see what happens here. Now you see the ask. It went towards like 18s or 342, even 10, and now it's back up there. The ask side is up at 342.40s. So that's how you look for that big buyer, and you look for the big fish, right? So you point him out. You're like, okay, so my big fish is right here. I want to see if he's going to sell. If he sells, I got to get out. But if he holds on, I can ride his momentum up into that buy move and look at the position and look for us to capture that move. So right now, let's say if his look is towards the bottom of the low or VWAP, you can start drawing out that trade and looking for that trade to kind of fulfill. And you could be in there based off of the big fish, not necessarily only your position.
100%. I'm also, Mitch, I don't know if we ever look at crypto on this show, but I'm looking at Ethereum right now. It looks like Ethereum has a chance to kind of break out today, which, we can look at Ethereum alone and see if we want to trade that, or we can look at kind of stocks that will benefit.
How about this, AB? Do you want to do a little crypto update for us?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
I'll play the video. You get the can you share the screen and get the crypto up?
Yep.
Perfect. I'll go ahead and I'll play the little video for us.
All right, y'all. So looking at the heat map, we can see Bitcoin is up nearly 3.5% over the last 24 hours. Ethereum up about 1.5%. The Binance coin doing well. Everything is pretty much in the green besides Cosmos, Matic, and Luna. So which is interesting because these were some of the ones that were up last week when other things were down. Look at Polkadot up nearly 10%. That's a big winner today. Dogecoin up 2.5%. So overall, pretty green day for crypto. Uniswap, of course, up more than 12%. Again, I'm watching Ethereum right now. If we pull up a chart on the daily, you can see that it looks like it could be trying to break out. So I think it's something interesting to keep our eye on. And then, as always, if you're interested in getting into crypto, we do have an offer. You can go to Voyager, use the code ZING, Z-I-N-G, get $50 in free Bitcoin after you deposit $100 or more and make your first trade. So if you're not in crypto, you're looking to get in, go ahead and use this code ZING. You get $50 worth of free Bitcoin. Who knows how much that'll be worth in a few years. But yeah, overall, strong day for crypto. And the stock market seems to be green as well. So far, just a good day in all the markets, Mitch.
Hey, that's what I like to see. Definitely a lot of action out here. A lot of action. But look at the Facebook move, man. Nice call out today. We talked about Facebook earlier.
I know. So if you
pullback.
When I called out the options, right, I said they were about $343, $3.43 for the 345 calls that expire at the end of this week. They're currently $428. So I don't know. It's about more than 10% just from when we called that out a few minutes ago. And those options on the day are up over 170%. So I think we're going to continue to see strength in Facebook throughout the week. I'd be looking at it to break those highs that it came off of earlier. It looks like 344.43 was what it hit earlier when it came down. Currently at 343.49. So another dollar or so till we're back up at those highs of the day. And yeah, man. I mean, it's just I think there's a lot of things going for the company right now, and the stock got beaten down with some of the bad news, and now investors are kind of realizing, hey, maybe the
there's some upside. The story could change.
Right.
That's what it really is. The story can change. It's not based on the Facebook anymore. It's all based on what they can do for the metaverse, and if they can really get us into it and push us faster and faster, then that's definitely going to get them the returns they're looking for. That's why I called out the big share size, because I love to trade with the big fish, AB. If you're able to see them on the tape, I'm telling you, man, it's something else. Because think about it, right? 20,000 shares of Facebook at 343. That's a pretty good amount of cash there. Let's take a look how much that would be. 20K times, let's say 342s. That's a $6.8 million trade there, AB. See why that could be an important trade to catch on the tape. And that's why I like looking at the tape and doing what I call you filter out on the tape. You don't worry about too much about, let's say, those 100 orders they go through, because those 100 orders, that's that fast active trading, the agos. You see that just flow through on the tape. Now, when you see a big order go through on the tape, that's when you want to pay attention, because that could be a big buyer or seller. You don't know, but what you can use is a price action to kind of tell you levels to go off of and see when the big fish is in or out. And I think that right here you call a simple push, and you saw how the next candle tested him. I talked about how he would get tested, right? Like he's in their position. He gets a little bit of a downtick. He's like, ooh, should I get out? Boom. And then he starts rocketing on up. That's what I'm looking for with the price action following that big order. And you got it right here. It's probably selling out already.
Here we go. Yeah, I think we're just now
orders,
getting
4,300 orders.
Yep,
5,000 orders went through twice.
We just broke above the previous
trade
highs of the day. Currently, those options that I was talking about are up to $473 a contract. I shouted that amount at 345. So nice little profit there if you tailed me there. Mitch, another one that great people Adam in the chat is asking about
$1 million.
We're going for $1 million this year. 2022 is the year that we bring our our accounts to a milli. So Adam's asking about Disney for a long-term entry point.
Yeah.
Adam, so it all depends on what your time horizon is. Because if you're for long-term, I like to think like, 3, 5 years, 10 years down the road. Disney will be around in 5, 10 years from now. And I can say pretty confidently, I think that the stock will be trading higher than it is now 5, 10 years from now. Does that mean that in the next few months that Disney has to go up? No, not at all. But, we see it well off of its highs. Disney reached about $200 back in March, currently at $153. So about 25% off of its highs back then. And I do like this as a long-term investment. You can kind of draw a trend line from the bottom of the pandemic to where we are at now, and we can see where it got a little overextended, but you can see that so I would just be looking for it to essentially like continue to bounce off this trend line. And in, 6 months to a year, will we be back up at $200? Maybe, probably. So again, it all depends on your time horizon.
100%. I like the look, I like the outlook. And that's what you do. You use some technical level, some story, and then you look at the fundamentals, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if they can bring some of the money back to their parks, right? The parks reopening and not getting, let's say, Omicron fears or anything like that, then you got the holiday boost probably from subscriptions being added because of holiday movies mostly being on Disney, right? I mean, we'll see what happens. I think they're going to have a good quarter. I think it's something to watch for 150s. I like that look now if I get a pullback. And then look for it to get back above 160s. Once you get through the 160s, you're going to be feeling really good. But I do like this look for the long term. And I always say stocks that you want to think of long term, you need to ask yourself that question that AB just did. AB asked himself, is Disney ever going out of business?
No.
So it's okay, right? Long-term position, right? That's what I like to ask myself in the long term is just think about that, right? Is the company going anywhere? It's like, you know what I always say? Like a good dividend play is Home Depot. That's never going anywhere. Guys, Home Depot's not disappearing next year. It doesn't matter what happens, right? So the stocks like that are more long-term positions. I think those are the ones that you can get into. And even if you miss by a little bit, you're going to be okay because you don't have to think about the stock going out of business anytime soon.
Yeah, someone asked, or Patrick Starr is asking, do you know someone using SoFi? I've asked this on the show before too. I really don't know too many people that use SoFi as their like primary banking or trading platform or whatever. So I think right now SoFi as a company is spending a lot of money in promotion and marketing to try to acquire their customer base. So I don't know. I think as SoFi reports earnings and guidance and stuff, we'll get more insight into how big their user base is. But Mitch, I got another stock that's just been an absolute monster for the past year that's breaking out today.
Let's do it.
New all-time highs that I'm watching. It's just this chart is just showing incredible strength. And people have been saying, oh, it's getting overextended, and it just keeps going up every single day.
What stock is that?
FTNT, Fortinet.
FTNT. All right. Yeah. This keeps going up.
I know, it's crazy. It's like it's literally like it actually did. Let's see, back in November, kind of like got to a high of 342 and then traded off those highs, and that was like the first time in like a year that there was any pullback whatsoever in the stock. And what do you know? It's back up to all-time highs, up about 4% on the day. This is for people that aren't familiar, a cybersecurity company that definitely benefited from COVID when everyone kind of went virtual because they do a lot of cybersecurity for businesses, infrastructure security, cloud security, endpoint protection. And I mean, I don't know. I just think this cybersecurity space to me is just going to keep growing and growing and growing. And Fortinet has kind of established themselves as a leader in the space. So this is one that I like long term. I'm not as highly convicted. I'm not as sure as like a short-term trade that this is going to keep moving up just because it is, maybe getting a little bit overextended.
Hey, well, it's definitely a stock to keep on your watch. One thing that happened on this big pullback, someone was thinking like you and was like, man, this company has it down packed. 9 million shares traded there, from 315 to 335. So that's the pullback area that I would look for, is the 335s. But from there, as long as it holds that, it's still a bullish trend and it can continue moving. I think also if you look at the weekly, you could draw a trend line and you could see when is this line ever going to break. I don't think it even got close here. So you guys can keep watching that trend, see the speed of the trend and watch it keep going on up. It has made some massive moves. I think this is kind of the gap in between the consolidation. You might get the next extension on up. The extension could be even as high as this. So I'm thinking 80 points up from even the breakout points. Let's say you broke out at 350. You're looking towards 430s on the upside. Long-term on FTNT. Interesting chart there. Mention and look at Facebook go, guys. Facebook pushing really well now, trying to get towards the 350s. Beautiful look. Went up towards the resistance. I'm sure there was some selling there, and now you're looking at that next extension on up. This was a nice look here that we gave you guys right by the VWAP, and now you could have been grabbing this 1%, $3.80 move. Not a bad day for Facebook today.
Yeah, wow, those option contracts just keep going up. They're at,
I'm sure they're
at $510 right now. So when I pointed them out, I said I was going to buy 2 of them for about $700, currently worth about $1,000 now. So nice little $300 profit there. Let's see. Daniel Davis is saying you guys lost sound. Can people out there in the chat hear us? Maybe Daniel just accidentally muted his YouTube or something.
I hope not. I hope Daniel's the only one not hearing us. But you guys in the chat, let us know if you guys can hear us. Let's keep going, guys. The run up Con is a meme stock. I don't even know that one. There's so many stocks that I have never even heard of. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I can tell you right now, very low volume traded stock. So yeah, it could catch a rocket. I mean, it pushed up earlier, but very low flow, very low volume traded. So just be careful on that Con one. I don't mind you mentioning it, but just be careful. And definitely mention also if it's and it's not heavily traded, man. It's only trading 120,000 shares when this stock on average, at least when it was starting to pop, was trading at 1 million shares. Now you're trading less than a tenth of that, or near a tenth of that. So definitely not showing the strength that we wanted to see in that one. Looks like you got a NVIDIA.
Yeah, I was just going to say real quick, we got a lot of feedback in the chat saying they can hear us. So thank you, Daniel. Hopefully you can just unmute your YouTube or something. But so Donna's saying NVIDIA is currently overbought. And I wanted to bring this comment up and talk about it for a second, because we a lot of times like to use certain technical indicators like RSI, relative strength index, to see if a stock is overbought or oversold. But what you have to keep in mind is for certain types of companies, it doesn't necessarily abide by those standards, right? If you look at something like an Amazon or a Tesla, there were certainly times in the chart where people said, okay, this is overbought here. It needs to pull back. And then the stocks just keep moving up. Why is that? That's because these companies, especially in the growth and technology space, that really have an opportunity to make an impact and to have like a transformative impact on their industry, on the world as a whole, people are willing to pay a higher premium for. So if you see something like Tesla's PE is like crazy high, people aren't saying, oh my God, I'm not going to buy Tesla here because the PE is high. People are buying Tesla for the long-term story, that they think that Tesla is more than a car company, that they're going to electrify the United States and transform green energy, clean technology as we know it. And so NVIDIA is kind of the same in the same sense, right? Even if it's expensive right now from a true value standpoint, people are buying NVIDIA. Why? Because NVIDIA's technology is being used in essentially every form of technology you can think of, whether it's cryptocurrency mining, whether it's video gaming, whether it's AI, whether it's robotics, whether it's self-driving cars. I mean, NVIDIA just has its hands in everything, that people are willing to pay a higher premium for something like NVIDIA compared to, I don't know, American Airlines, because American Airlines is those value stocks. They are stocks that you can buy and trade and make good money on. But the companies, what they're doing is they're good cash flow, that they make money. These companies, the nvidias, the Teslas, the Amazons, are the ones that will be able to reshape kind of the world as we know it. And that's why people are just willing to buy them while they're so expensive.
I agree, man. You know, one of the things is you always got to know the stories, and stories drive stocks more than the fundamentals themselves. So yeah, we got fundamentals coming back into play, but like always, know the stories and know the social aspects of the stocks. That's going to help you find these big moves. Nvidia was one that we were watching through 300 today. Beautiful move. AMD was another one we were watching for a breakout. Beautiful move. And this is why we go ahead and stay here on the pre-market. We talked about these moves, exactly what we got out the market. Let's take a look at Nicola. How did we perform on Nicola? It's still going down, so it looks like it probably could have held a little bit there. But we'll see what happens with Nicola. It definitely didn't hold that 1175. That's why I'm glad I didn't take the long early. I was looking at it on both sides today, either bullish or bearish, depending on the levels it broke out. Either was going to hold 12 and get into the bullish sense, or it was going to break down through the 1150, and that's where we were going to start getting bearish. That's exactly what happened. We'll see what happens and continues in Nicola after that big move on up. Tesla going up towards the 1100 today, also a stock given in pre-market for a bullish look through that, and it held really nice there near the VWAP. You could have been attacking there. Nice push on up towards the 1100s. Now we'll see if those 1100s can hold, and if we can get a close up there, it'll be looking really good. How'd the AMC train do today? It's just going sideways right now.
Yeah, some strong numbers over the weekend with the Spider-Man movie again, but at this point, I have to believe that is priced into AMC stock right now, and then not even just the Spider-Man movie. You would think that having like a few movies that perform really well would be priced in already, just because that should be the expectation, right? That there will be a few blowout blockbusters each year. But who knows? I guess some people were still surprised by that. I haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers in the chat or anything. But if you have seen it, I'm just curious in the chat. What do you think of it? Is it worth me going out to the theater and seeing it, or should I just wait till it comes out on, Netflix or something?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I did catch The Matrix. So I caught The Matrix, but at home, not in the theaters. So just to kind of give some insight of what's out there, right? I mean,
yeah, there's also that new Leonardo DiCaprio movie on Netflix.
There you go. You see? I mean, at the end of the day, I think the movie theaters have definitely changed. Will the movie theaters come back into some kind of profitability? I think they can. But one thing that I think that's going to happen, and I was thinking about this over the weekend, was really what I think is going to happen is that movies are not going to have as high budget as they used to. They're going to take some of that budget down because of the different kind of avenues for content that you have nowadays. And I think they're going to just do lower, like high budget movies because they don't get the results that they want in the box office, right? So they spend less, so the expenses aren't as high, but then they'll get still the margins back because they'll still sell some tickets, just not as much as they used to. That's just my thinking now.
Yeah, and speaking of movies, so I mentioned the new Leo DiCaprio movie on Netflix. Thank you in the chat for reminding me what it's called. Don't Look Up. I actually started it at like last night, and I was really tired, and I fell asleep, so I have to finish it. But I was enjoying it. But I could be wrong, but I feel like this is Netflix has a bunch of original shows and movies, but to me, this is the first movie that I've seen Netflix produce where it has like so many big name stars, right? You have Leonardo DiCaprio, you have Jennifer Lawrence, you have Ariana Grande is in it. Let me just pull up the full cast because I know I'm missing people here right now. Timothy Chalamet, Meryl Streep, Chris Evans, Jonah Hill. Just an incredible cast that Netflix obviously had to go out and spend a lot of money on. But this could be the start of kind of a new era of Netflix where they're making these blockbuster movies that in the past you would only see in the theaters, the ones that would have guys like Leonardo DiCaprio or Matt Damon or these big name stars. Yeah, Tyler Perry's in it too. It's just, to me, Netflix seems like that could be kind of a bullish catalyst for it in the next few months if the Don't Look Up movie just crushes numbers. Because then that's going to do for Netflix is they're going to go out and make more of these movies and become a competitor with Paramount Films, Fox 20, all these other more legacy movie studios.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I mean, the only thing that can go from here is, I think you're not going to see these big movies. I think you're going to start seeing those lower. And one of the things is, I mean, these big production studios, they just spend too much, right? I mean, Netflix movies usually are way lower in their expense, and they still get decent outlook, right? So we'll keep watching these. We'll see how they perform. Right now, I'm looking at Lucid to see if we get back above 37.23s. That's the bullish upside look. Down below 36.68s, we could get short. Right now, it's in a chop zone, sideways consolidation. I'm also looking at GME. It's setting up for a short-term bullish move, but also longer-term bearish move here. So if it cracks down 145s again, we could get short down towards 141. Above 147, you could get long into, let's say, 149s or 150s. So we'll see what happens here. But definitely look at the SPY today, guys. Remember I talked about how we were going to look to see if it tested down towards 470, and we're going to look for a move to 475. Look where we're at now, guys. 470, 470s, looking like we want to get towards 475 today. And man, not a bad look today. Was having a bullish look in the pre-market, and that's exactly what we got. We got that uplift and a lot of stocks going up. I hope that you guys are out there making some good money. That's what I want to be hearing, guys. So definitely, guys, smash that up. That's what I like to hear.
Oh, yeah!
Let me know if the music is too loud. I brought a little bit of music. I think it's really low, but if you can hear it or not, let me know. All right, Ashton wants to take a look at Cresto Labs. What are your thoughts about where it's trading? What is Cresco's ticker again? Maybe AB knows.
I think it's CRL. Hold on, let's find it real quick.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. I can just look it up here.
It's CRLBF.
There you go. One of the good things is you can just put the company name for here. Let's take a look at the daily chart. I actually am thinking about taking some cannabis positions going into next year. Why? Because I feel like we're going to get decriminalization. Decriminalization is what I've always been looking for at first, and then we can get legalization. I think you got to go off these monthly lows, these 580s, and look for a push back up, right? If you see here, we actually got a push up here from kind of this June time. We went all the way up, came all the way back down. Let's look for that level to hold, get back on up. So if you look at your daily, you see it went right back towards 6 and then pushed on up. I'm going to be looking for some sideways consolidation here between $7 and $5.89, so $6. Look for it to come back and test near here again, then look for the lift. That's what I would be looking for, kind of this double bottom type of look. But we'll see what happens. It has that V bottom right now, and it could get back above $7 and hold. That's what I'd be watching for the upside move. But for right now, see what happens with the volume. And, of course, take a look at some other ones. Don't only watch this one. Take a look at True Leaf and see how that one performs. PLNFF, I think, or Planet Fitness is, or Planet 13 is PLNHF. This is one that I like. Why? Also monthly lows. Let's say, take a look here. I'm looking for these kind of monthly lows to hold is 285. Get back above 374, which is the range that it's in right now. Let it get back above that, and then you can start looking for a bullish outlook on Planet 13 holdings. We'll see how these cannabis stocks perform next year. Lucid trying to take out those lows again here. Let's take a look at Lucid. We might get short on Lucid here. 68s are very important. I see some volume going through there. Some people are trying to get short. We want to see a flush down through here and then a pull back towards these levels. Let's see if we get that flush down, pull back, and then another takedown.
Yep. And I, going back to the cannabis thing real quick, I actually I want to wait until we have till marijuana is federally legalized before I start investing in some of these companies, especially the suppliers, the actual growers, because what we're seeing right now in Michigan, where Michigan is legalized recreational, you can go to a dispensary, buy whatever you want. The market for suppliers has just gotten flooded. Like the suppliers are having to sell their cannabis to the dispensaries for way cheaper than they originally intended because there's just so much marijuana being grown. But one stock I do like in the cannabis space right now is Scott's Miracle Grow, ticker SMG. And we've seen this stock get beaten up. We saw it get all the way up to $250, currently at 160. So, Mitch, I'm going to pull up my screen real quick just because I feel like a lot of people don't know this. So I'm just on Scott's Miracle Grow's website, and these are all the brands that they have under Scott's Miracle Grow. So you have Scott, all this lawn care and gardening brands. But then if you go down here to hydroponics, a lot of these brands are invested in kind of growing cannabis growing. So SMG, it's kind of like a Grow G, like Home Depot of marijuana play, but SMG has the benefit of that they are able to operate, interstate across the country, as opposed to some of these growers that can only operate in one state right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull your charts back up.
Yeah, no worries. Pull them up.
And Roy, I think that's what. Yeah, exactly. The cannabis banking. So it's because the banking, the regulations, it's not federally legalized yet. But once it is, then the banks will be able to take money from the dispensaries, and we'll be able to have a better idea of kind of which. And there will be out of the growers and suppliers, whether you're looking at Cureleaf, Cresco, whoever it is, there will be a leader once that space is more established and once we do have that federally legalized. I just right now am more on the sideline with those individual names. And like I said, I'm just kind of adding to my SMG position over time.
Yeah, it's not a bad play. I mean, SMG does have subscription model, like you said, lawn care, and then it has a side play there that you can be playing in cannabis. What I like about that is that it has some consistency in the subscription model, right, on the lawn side, which is going to bring you that revenue, right? And then it has a growth outlook with the cannabis side, right? It has an outlook that it could get into different businesses and try to push on those levels. So I think it's a good play to at least keep in mind. And you're right. I think legalization is important, but I think decriminalization can start things going. Yeah, there's going to be some legal battles, but I think once that starts going and it starts moving in that direction, you'll start seeing some companies taking some shots and probably even going to some, I don't know if there's going to be some legal battles here once we get decriminalization, if these companies could be public. So there's going to be the battle there. I think, of course, banking has to come in. That has to start. I mean, we can't have these cannabis companies having, let's say, military style security just to try to run their business. So let's at least see that change first. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and like you said, I mean, we'll see those changes kind of coming in waves, right? Like the first wave will be decriminalization, then we'll get then we'll get the Safe Banking Act. It doesn't have to all happen in one swoop. Going back to a Fortinet real quick, FTNT breaking out a little bit higher. Again, just, dude, I mean, I just don't, like, looking at this chart, looking at the FTNT chart, it just looks so strong. But it has to be getting overextended at some point, right?
Yep, it does. And we'll see if this can continue. We talked about it. I said this could have an 80-point move, really. At least from my targets, would give it up towards 430s. Is it going to get up there today? Definitely not saying that, but we'll see what happens. I mean, definitely a strong move. What I like about this one is look at the 5-minute hold of VWAP. It held it so well. Look for those 5 minutes of VWAP to hold again. If you want, look back on the time, see if 5 minutes of VWAPs have hold before, and if this gives it that lift look, we'll continue to watch FTNT today. All right, guys, time to catch up with the chat. If you guys have a big trade of the day or something that was moving fast, let us know in the chat, and we'll go ahead and touch it. Rublox being mentioned right now, so I'll take a look at that. And then I'm going to look to see if there's anything on my sector industries that are popping up. Look at Rublox. Nice push out up there through the 103s. Let's take a look at the daily. Definitely trying to hold and get back above the 61.8. That's an important price point for it. So 103s on pullbacks is what I'd be looking for it to hold. And today we actually break through 103s on the downside, then we recover it. Now I don't want to see it break that 103 on the downside. I want to continue seeing it push, get back up through, let's say, this 108. Then you could see a pullback towards 106. But right now, definitely Rublox looking strong today.
Yep, and shout out Born to Be Free in the chat saying AHR is having a great day. That, of course, was brought to us by Ben from Story Trading. It's this stock has been wild. He originally pitched it to us, I want to say around like $5, and then it ran all the way up to around 25. Yep. Traded off and is now coming back up higher. Let's see, we've got some other trade call outs in the chat. Eric Taylor saying he likes upstart calls. $170 calls that expired January 21st. Let's go ahead and take a look at the upstart chart. Upstart is one of those stocks that's just great to trade options with because of how volatile it is. And we can see just how beaten down it's gotten over the past month or so. But you have those a couple green candles in a row that show us that we may be looking at a reversal. So I don't mind that play at all. What are we trading at right now?
Trading at 159.44s, and looks like there was some resistance that it went through at 157.50. I'd be looking for 150s to hold on this one. You don't want to see it back by 130s, of course. You got a quick V-shaped bottom here, so you don't want to see it test that. You want to see it come back and test the 200-day average. 200-day average is right above it, 179.94. That will get us back in bullish sense. Right now, it's in bearish sense because it's below the 200-day. We want to see it get above the 200-day. But if you're trying to take a shot now, there's nothing wrong. You know your outs. As long as you have some outs, that's always what matters. And for me, I think you got to watch a bunch of these. Upstart is going to probably trade with a lot of these names like Affirm. I would look to see how Affirm is doing. Affirm is trying to catch a bid also. Very similar chart. So we'll see how these kind of trade and continue trading from these 100 levels. But definitely they're trying to catch a bid there. We'll see how they do. All right, what's going on out there? Tesla on fire. The Tesla Dragon moving fast there. Shelly talking about AVCT. Let's take a look there. AVCT. This is one that I saw moving earlier. It's a technology stock. Doing well on the day here. Looks like that 5-minute pullback held really well. Cleared 230s, then came back towards the 245 hold. Just needs to hold VWAP here throughout. 250s hold here. Could potentially get it back towards $3. Not a bad look. AVCT. All right, Lucid coming back down here. We might get a short call here. The guys through 36.68s. It's been trying to get back above 37. Can't hold above there. Could start breaking down here as it's tried to get back above here. But if it breaks right here, it could all of a sudden just start breaking fast to that 36.68. We'll risk off that 36.82. All right, what's going on out there? Can you take a look at HUT, says Ben's World? I'll definitely take a look. Rivian up about 8%, 6%. I'll take a look at Rivian also. FSIL $7 weekly calls. Volume is nice, says Samuel Jason. Can't be bad about that one. SPX flight ended. I'll take a look there. I'm guessing that was space. But let me take a look here. 36.82s. We're looking like we want to break down a little bit here in Lucid. Definitely some volume coming in here, so some bidders getting in here. So they're looking for the upside breakout through 37, but we're looking for the breakdown here through 36.82s, going towards 36.68s. We'll see if we can get into this trade. This is why I don't like to overextend and get in really quickly. Look for the trade to make the decision of where the direction looks like it's going. Then we can take the trade. Right now, looking like it's trying to hold here, these 90s, get back to 37. If it does get back up through that, then it's a bullish play above 37.23s. Bearish plays through that 36.68. What's up? What's up, Miss Whitehorse? Good to see you in the chat. Good to have you. All right, let's keep going. Chino, what's up, man? How we doing? All right, we wanted to take a look at HUT. Let's go back at HUT. I'm still looking at Lucid. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll let you guys know if I get in the trade. HUT looking like a breakdown through 873s, but if you actually look at the longer time frame, let's take a look at the hourly. It's trying to hold this support, get back on up here. Looks like it's in a little bit of a trap between 890s and 866. We want to see what happens there. Do we break right back down? Because if we do, it's just keeping this daily bearish trend here. So you can draw a trend line here, and you need to see it get back above that 9. If not, we can test back down towards this $8. So we're looking to see if it holds here. If it breaks 866 on the downside, it could come back down towards 8. That's how I would look at HUT. Like always, guys, it's only for informational purposes only, not for investment advice. And I'm not here for you guys to copy, because that would not be fun. I mean, no one likes to copy trade there, but definitely smash the like button. Looks like we got over 570 people watching today. Hope you guys had a great holidays. Smash that thumbs up. Let's see where we're at in the like department. I want to see where we're at. You guys smash on up. Let's get this going. Let's get some likes in here. All right, taking a look here. Looks like we're at 251 likes. We need 400 likes to stay on past 11 o'clock. So I need you guys to hit the like. If not, we'll be getting out of here in about 15 minutes. But if not, then we can keep going for another 30 minutes until 11:30. I know that AB is going to be out here in the back. You guys smash that thumbs up. Let's keep it going. All right, Lucid trying to get back above that 37. Gave a little bit of a fake out look right there. Definitely tried to get back above this 37. Couldn't get above there. We're going to see what happens right now. It's definitely on a make it or break it moment. That's what I call these moments right now, where it's trying to determine trend. And it's in a sideways consolidation. Bullish short term, bearish longer term, intermediate. Let's see if it breaks this on the downside or gets on up through that 37 for the push towards 37.23s. All right, time to take a look at my scanners. What am I seeing out there moving? Looks like GME on the downside. Let's take a look here. GME through 145 on the downside. That could be a trade for us here. Let's go ahead and take a look. This would be a smaller type of trade. We're talking maybe 10 shares here. But let's see if we can even just nail down this trade here. All right, I'm liking this look. I just needed to bounce a little bit here. I don't want to get in on the bid side. I wanted to get in closer towards 145.50s. We'll see if we can get that look. All right, let's go ahead and bring up multiple charts here. I'm going to put in Lucid to the right-hand side so you guys can watch Lucid and GME at the same time. If you guys got a stock to take a look at, definitely throw it up in the chat. We'll see what happens here. Looks like it's trying to hold that 37, do that little push out. We'll see if it does make that last move. What's up out there, guys? How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are having a good trading day. What's up out there, Born? How we doing? Nemesis content. Let's go ahead. Forward being called out at 2079 by the Thinker. Let's take a look at Forward real quickly. Ooh, look at Ford go, baby. Look at Ford go, guys. We talked about this one. I like this one for a swing trade through the 20s up there towards 2150s. This is really looking good, guys. I love this chart. Love the look that it's been putting in. Weekly, really nice sideways consolidation. I'll be looking for this one to break through 2127 and 2150s. But if you got Ford, hey, I do like the chart there. All right, GME is looking good through that breakdown through 145, but I need a bounce back to get in this one. We'll see what happens. There's a bounce back, but it's pretty significant and it's fast. So I'm going to be careful here. If I did get in, it had to be at 146, and then the hour would be 146.50s. But definitely it did push on up there pretty quickly. All right, Lucid, what's going on with Lucid? It's trying to get through that 37, but if it fails there, we're definitely going to look for some shorts. You guys smash the likes out there. How are we doing on the like front now? Looks like there's 305. We need about 95 likes more to keep us going through 11. It's 11:47. Let's go ahead and take a look here at some of the chat messages being called out. Would you guys keep the beat up with 441 calls, Lucid, or get out all beat up? I'm not really the best option, guys, Grass. But if you're looking for 41 calls and you're looking for Lucid to get on up, you would look for that 37 to hold now. So to me, as long as this trend holds, you're still in the bullish sense. That's why I told you guys it needs to break the 82, get through that 368. If that would give us that bearish look. Right now, it's still in the bullish look to break through 37.23s. So right now, it doesn't look bad. All right, watching this GME, also thinking about taking a short here, but I want to see some rejection. I want to see the bid come up towards 146. The ask was there at 146.50 for a second there, and we're looking for a breakdown back below that 144.96. What's going on, Alex Sanchez? What's up out there, guys? Let's go ahead and let's keep going out here. I'm going to go ahead and get us to a quick little trailer here, just a little break. We'll be back, guys, as we continue live trading here. I'm just going to take a little sip. I'll be right back.
I tell all my CEOs, this is a very important platform. And look, all the other platforms are important too. But you're up there. You're way up there.
Best investment you can do in your future is actually go and educate yourself on credible sites, credible resources like Benzinga. You guys have been killing it.
The comment section on this show is remarkable. Like the quality of the combo. Just big shout out to your community.
So I love about you guys. You just have all your callers in right then. It's all about the community here at Benzinga.
All right, guys, we got a little bit of a push up here coming out of Lucid and GME. So not going to get short GME. Big thing is the SPY's trying to take out the highs. The SPY's going to try to take out the highs. We got to look for those bullish moves. We're not looking for bearish moves here. We're looking for a continuation on the upside. We'll see what happens here in the SPY. Trying to get through that 47.80 level. 40.74 80s. We'll see if we can get up through there and get towards the 40.75 level that we're looking for on the upside. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some of the other stocks in the industries. What is trading out there and what is moving? Looks like technology up almost 1% now. So definitely staying into the green there. Semi-conductors, strong industry, up about 2% there. Behind that, you got consumer electrics up about 1%. Stocks that are doing well in there. Look at Vuzi. Vuzi doing really well. MSN, Sony doing well there. Vizio also having a decent day there. We'll see if these can continue making moves on the upside. Consumer defensives doing well today. Pharmaceutical retailers up 1%. One of the ones that I was watching was WBA. How is this going to do on the daily? I like this one for a swing trade. It's been doing really well now. Now trying to hold the trend line pullbacks to 50s. That's what I'd be looking for. It did that today. Went down to 50.32. Held the 200-day moving average at 50.29. Now pushing back on up. Looks interesting. RAD was another one I was going to take a look at it for a nice little push on up. We'll see if we get an alert back through 1410s, as I do think this one could eventually get a nice push. I'm actually going to set an alert here at 1415s to alert us if we get that next push in RAD. All right, guys, let's keep going here. Discount stores also doing well today. Costco doing great. Big Lots doing good. And Ollie doing good. Industrials, you guys can take a look at trucking companies. USAK is one of my favorite trucking companies to watch, and it trades pretty well. Looks like it's trying to catch the support, getting on up there towards 2025. We'll see if it can get back on up there and do an extension on up. On the downside today, you got communication services, so just be careful out there with some of those names. How did the airlines trade today after a trouble weekend? So let's take a look here. Looks like they're actually trading up from the open, so it's not the worst there. Let's take a look. Also, Carnival Cruise Line also up today. We'll see if these reopening trades can keep trading towards the upside. All right, guys, SPY is trying to break out from that level, but rejecting a fourth time here. So I'm thinking we're going to start seeing a retracement to the VWAP on the SPY. So I might get short on GME here, but let's take a look there. I'm going to go ahead and pull off here as we take a look at some of these other trades to see if we can get a short here on Lucid and GME. If we get the breakdown of the SPY rejecting from that multiple level high here. So the 5 minute has 1, 2, 3, 4 minute highs there. That would actually give us 2 candles there on the 15 minute. We're going to look for this to close below here, head towards 470, 460s on the downside pullback. All right, Tony, I'm going to have to put you in time. Troy, I'm going to have to put you in timeout. You just keep repeating about Con and that it's a meme stock. There's no need for you to repeat that 5 times. So just because you're not including value for everybody, smash the like. You guys, if no one brings in value here in the chat, I'll definitely take it off. There's an audio echo. I got you. All right, there you go. The echo should have gone away. I took away the music, though, but let me know if you guys are still getting an echo. Right? I think Roy knows about Troy. Roy says dump him. All right, mRNA being mentioned by Andreas. I'll definitely take a look there. Oh, your mic was open during the promo? I know what happened there. My bad, guys. All right, bringing the music back. You guys let me know if you guys hear an echo. If there's still an echo, I'll definitely change it, but I think we should be good now. I'm actually going to increase that music there, guys. All right, so we're getting towards that 11 o'clock hour. We need 400 likes to keep going, guys. We got about 325. Looks like Lucid just took off there on the upside, so just be careful. Lucid, definitely bullish breakout there. I talked about the breakout through 37.23. That's exactly, it got hot through there, up there towards 37.40s now. Looking like an upside move there in Lucid, at least if you were taking a look. All right. A little bump in the music as we get closer towards 11 here. Let me know if it's too loud. If it's too loud, I'll turn it down. I think that should be perfect there. Little beat going. BA about to break out, Gloria says. I'll take a look there. Oof, look at that Lucid breakout. That's why those levels are so important, right? We were talking about how we were looking for shorts, but only if they break the important levels. Look at this, broke through that long side level, 37.23s, went up there towards 37.70s almost. It's a nice little push there from Lucid. Nice little volume that came in there also, 600,000 shares. You look at the other one, what is that? 6 times the volume. So definitely a good squeeze there in Lucid. Lucid squeezing on up there and pushing. AMC also trying to squeeze on up, so we're going to stay away from that GME short. We're actually going to look for these to squeeze on up, but I'm not going to be playing them towards the upside. Let's take a look at Nicola. We're finally catching some bid here down towards 1120s. Nothing much there, but hey, taking a look. AMD going to continue on its move. Not seeing much that I can get into on the upside right now, but I am taking a look here. Where is the SPY going? Where is the SPY going? Please repeat. Thank you. Well, the SPY right now is trying to get through that kind of 5-minute top level that we saw here. Now it's pushing through. A close above 47.90s would get me bullish to think that we're going to take out the 475s. Right now, it's definitely pushing to the resistance, getting right to it. We'll see if it can continue making a move up. All right, guys, today we have been positive on Palantir, positive on Nicola. We'll keep watching to see what we see out there, but not a bad day today. Any of you guys making tendies off the CEI? Oof, you're crazy, Rudy, trading that CEI. Can't blame you, but power to you, man. Pushing hard, says Mike. Hey, power to you, Mike. Mitch, please, how do you read those volume candles? Which ones? Are you talking about the one that's on the AMD here with the MACD indicator? Or do you want to talk about the right-hand side chart where I have like average to range, RSI, money flow index? I can get into any of those if you guys want to talk about them. We're getting towards that 11 o'clock hour. I told you guys if you guys gave me 400 likes, I would stick around and kind of keep trading for you. Let's see if we get towards that. We're right now at 348. We need 52 more likes, guys. Do me the favor, hit that like. Dun, 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 dun. Need some more positive noises, man. You know what we need to do? We need to bring back my man Simba. Who wants to bring back Simba? You guys let me know. What's your trading strategy? Says Deltro Latupe. I don't know if I read that right, but my trading style is a lot of it is swing trading. So a lot of it has to do with day trades that turn into swing trades. What do I mean by that? So a lot of times my trading strategy has to do with using my day trading abilities to give myself the best entry on a longer term swing trade. Let's say maybe a couple days or a week, or maybe even 3 weeks out on the long side. But that's what we're looking for. We're looking for these trades that we can get into for the longer term. Of course, I'm going to be also taking some day trades in here because that's what this channel is all about. I'm going to go ahead and take some little scalps like we did today on Palantir and Nicola. A lot of times this is going to be based off of my favorite kind of indicator, which is the VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price. I use that to determine where I'm getting in. And then I use other indicators to paint the story for me, not necessarily tell me in or out. Why are we making Mitch bags for likes? He deserves it. You guys out there, hit that like, guys. Yeah, it's how it is. You know, I'm always going to give you guys a little bit of a like push, but want to see you guys supporting us as we do this every single day live for free. Highs and new support at 745. I'll take a look there for you. SPY really pushing on up there, holding on up there, that breakout. We'll see if he's going to continue to push on up. Definitely not going to trade towards the downside when the SPY is going up like this. And so we just leave it alone. What's up? What's up, AB? You're welcome back, my friend.
What is up, Money Mitch? Are we? Whoa, I'm getting a little echo.
Yeah, a little bit. No worries. I think you should be good now.
All right. What time are we wrapping up today? 11:30 or 11?
Well, it all depends on the likes. Let's go ahead and see what we got here now. We're at 380. We need 20 likes to continue going towards 11:30. But let's see if we get there. Now 19. So almost there, guys. If you're out there and you got the boss watching, it's okay. Sneak one out there. Sneak one under the desk and hit that like button. So it looks like we might go towards 11:30, but I'm going to give them a couple more minutes here and see if everybody hits the like. Let's go ahead. Let's keep it going.
All righty, let's see. Oh, yeah, I am still getting an echo. Let me see if it's in my mic settings.
I think you're good, bro.
No, I can hear it, and someone else in the chat was saying they can hear it too.
AB echo?
Yeah.
That's how it goes. You're probably coming through my desktop.
Oh, your computer. Yeah, there we go. All right, I just had to mute your. Oh, now we lost the music though. Earlier we had the music and we weren't getting an echo. So
I don't know. I think you're good, but whatever. Don't worry about it. We can take off the music for a little while.
All righty.
I'm fixing that, guys. I'm having Benzinga try to get me a mixer here so that we can.
Oh, looks
play
like
with the music.
We're quickly approaching that 400 like mark. Let's see. 398 right now. We need 2 more. Rudy wants us to get to 420. I'd like that too. That's a nice round number. If we get up to 420, we will for sure get to 11. We'll go to 1130. I'm not going to move the goalpost, but 420 is the new goal because that's a more fun number than just 400.
Look at the love you got out there in the chat. David said, "I'd rather have AB than the music." Come on.
Wow, that's high praise coming from
is
David Lynn. I mean, music is so essential to pretty much everything. Yeah, you need music. Life without music is boring.
Good call out on the Facebook today, AB.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We get that Facebook ripping. I hope someone out there followed me into those $345 calls I was talking about this morning before we got that breakout. Again, and I'm not, selling these calls today. Like, I'm looking for Facebook to continue its strength throughout the week. The one thing that I gave earlier for everyone that might be, that have just recently joined us, we over the weekend, so many people got Oculus for Christmas. That Oculus's app in the Apple App Store skyrocketed to the first app, the first free app downloaded. Now, I checked this morning and it looked like it moved off of the first app and is now the third app. Regardless, you're crazy if you don't think you don't think institutional investors out there see that and know that, oh, holy shit, Oculus was like the hit present of Christmas this year. That's going to be reflected in the next earnings report. So a lot of people are going to, be trying to get into Facebook here in the next week or so. I'm looking for strength all week. I'm not selling those calls today. Looks like we had a couple people out there in the chat follow. 1969 TX Cowboy said, I got it in on the Facebook calls. Tendies, you know what it is. We're all about those tendies here. We just got to keep getting them. And then eventually, first comes the tendies, then comes the Lambo, right?
We're working on it. 2022, big year.
Let's see. And then the other one that I pointed out with strength was FTNT, which again is just it was moving higher. Now it looks like it's kind of slowed down. So again, I know for a fact Fortinet FTNT will be setting up for a trade here. Whether that's on the short side, the long side, to be determined. I know Mitch said he thinks it has room to run up to 400. We could see it get overextended at some point and a big move down. So, Mitch, this is one we're just going to have to keep on our watch list for the next week or so. Just keep FTNT on there because this thing's a monster and it moves. And that's my favorite. I like stocks that move, 2, 3, 4, 5% in a day. Because it makes trading options on them a lot more lucrative than if you have a stock that's only moving, 0.5% a day.
Definitely. And it's something to keep on watch. One of the things is when you got a stock that's trending, those are a lot of the trades that we're looking for as day traders, right? Because we're looking for the word momentum. At the end of the day, momentum is what we're looking for. Momentum usually comes from what? From trending stocks, not from non-trending stocks. So there you have it there. FTNT doing great. NVIDIA also catching into a trend here. I think that's another one you're going to start seeing getting really strong. 300 was a big price point today. We'll see if that can continue. Tesla really trying to hold the 1100s on pullbacks. Let's see if it can close above that 1100 today. That's what we're looking for. We had a great push. Now it could pull back towards the 1094s, but we really want to see it close above that 1100.
Churbo in the chat's asking for another good options play. So I really like with my style, I like to get into the options pretty early. Like I think when I called out that Facebook, it was like 9:40 or 9:45. A lot of times by this time of the day, after 11 a.m., you'll see, and you will have afternoon runners and afternoon, stocks that sell off. But a lot of times you'll see kind of the move already be established. And then here's the time of the day where stocks start kind of trading sideways. So I'll take a look, see if I like anything else in the options front. But again, I liked, like looking at Facebook's chart, what we knew about what we saw with Oculus over the weekend. It was like, okay, I think we're going to see more strength continue throughout the day. From here, I'm not sure. It kind of depends on what the overall market does. But in the meantime, Mitch, why don't you talk about a few tickers from the chat, and I'll see if I can find any more good options.
Got you. You go ahead and look for some plays. I'm going to call out the push right there, push back from GME. I talked about it, right? How if we were going to crack this 145 on the downside, we could look for the downside trade. What did we do? We got back above VWAP. AMC started pushing on up. giving us that look that, hey, GME could go into the green here. You look at GME, and then what does it do? It starts pushing on up there. So that's why I look at relationships. We look at stocks that trade similar, hand in hand, so that we can see the trade. I don't know this, but I'm going to look at it right now. So FSIL, I'll look at it and compare it to what? I'll compare it to plug. How's this relationship? Look, very similar, right? And so this is why relationships are so important. You want to be trading stocks that are similar, and then also keeping an eye on the similar stocks that are in the industry to find the trends. If plug was in the green today, I would be looking for FSIL to be in the green. Let's take a look at the other one that I was looking at in pre-market. Was Visa going to hold? Visa actually kind of a sideways day. It hasn't really gone bearish or bullish here, but definitely in a little bit of a trap, right? Right here, trying to get back above the VWAP, hold it, but it could break to each side right now. Doesn't have a trend. It just has kind of a bearish descending wedge here. We'll see if this can get back on through that 26-16-60s, but take a look at that for Square, right? We were going to take a look to see what happened in Square. And we were also going to take a look to see it happen in MasterCard. Were these going to hold up, or were these going to start breaking down? These are going down right now. And let's take a look at PayPal. PayPal also coming down too. So definitely I'm still looking at these on the short side right now. But we'll see if these could break to the upside. We want to see Visa push on up, and then you could see these kind of start reversing.
Beautiful, yeah. I see someone in the chat talking about Palantir. Palantir has been kind of weird the past few months because this was one that was like a high flyer, and then ran into a downtrend at the beginning of November and moved all the way from $26 down to about $18. So if we see a couple strong green days in a row for Palantir, then that would give me more conviction that, okay, this is swinging back up to around that $23, $24 level where we were trading at for a while. But right now, to me, it's still in a bear trend, still in a downtrend. I just don't love this stock really at all. Like I like it to trade because it has high volume and people trade it, but it's not one that I'm like, oh, I'm adding this to my long-term portfolio. I'm never going to sell it,
Yeah, it's difficult call here too. It's on a weekly support, could either break down big or come back towards resistance big. That's why people are taking the shot. I mean, I understand why you're taking a shot here. At least you have levels to go off of, right? All these levels are near the same thing. What we're really trying to see is Palantir get back above 20. Because if it can get back above 20, then it can give you that bullish engulfing look. You need that bullish engulfing look to really start getting the technicals to match up with the story and the fundamentals. Things point to the upside in Palantir, but also you got to take a look at the technicals. Technicals on the weekly has 4 or 5 weeks that went straight down. Now we're 2 or 3 weeks sideways. We need to either break down or break out of this trend. We'll see what happens in Palantir.
Yeah, and this was one for a while that was actually a good stock to sell puts on because it like always bounced off of I don't know if it was like $20 or 21, but it like every time it got down to a certain level would bounce, and then eventually it finally fell through there. So I would just be careful with this one. Keep watching it. Again, I think there is good upside if we see a couple green days in a row to ride it back up to $25. Because if you buy in at say $20 and take it all the way up to 25, that's a 25% gainer. Like that's not insignificant, right? You do that, you get a 25% gainer. That's pretty good. All right, looking back at the chat. Someone's asking for my Twitter. I'll drop it in the chat. It's just Aaron and Bree 5 on Twitter. Give me a follow there. I'm gonna tweet more in the new year about like markets and stocks and stuff because this was just like my personal Twitter before I even worked at Benzinga. So right now it's more, it's not a lot of stock market related stuff. I was debating like, should I make a different Twitter just for Benzinga and stock stuff and then keep my personal one separate? But that seemed like too much work, and I already had certain people follow me on this one, so I'm just gonna keep rolling with it.
That's what I like to hear, guys. Definitely follow up. That's what it's about. One of the things that we're going to try to do more and more of is do that. I think what I'm going to try to create for us, AB, is a landing page where essentially our picks go into. especially Benzinga Live. Anything that we do in here, we're going to try to do our best to give you guys those trades, especially when we were able to break them down from start to finish, right? That's what we want to show you guys is the process. This is what this show's about, really. It's not about the gains or the losses, because if we wanted to do that, then I would tell you guys I'm grabbing 20,000 shares of this, and I'm going to look for it to do this. That's not what we're here for. We're looking for more strategy talk, look for what we're taking it and why we're taking it and what we can learn, really, because if it's not teachable, if it's not repeatable, we probably shouldn't be talking about it here on Live Trading with Benzinga. So that's what we're going to be focusing on things that can be repeatable and that we can focus on the process to get you guys to up your skill level to take it to the next level.
100%. Couldn't agree more. And speaking of that, so Sophia in the chat is saying, what about Roku? She has $260 calls. So Sophia, let us know, A, what is your expiration date? B, is there a catalyst you're looking for? Or you know, are you just playing Roku based on, you know, what's your plan there? Because I always like to have a thesis behind my trade, right? When I pitched Facebook earlier, it was okay because we have strong numbers indicating that Oculus sold really well over Christmas. Facebook opened ahead of the rest of the tech market, so it was showing relative strength. And Facebook is also well off of its all-time highs of about $380, while the rest of big tech and the SPY and NASDAQ are at all-time highs. So that shows us that, okay, Facebook has room to catch up with the rest of its competitors. You know, so is there a thesis that you have for Roku, Sophia? Because right now, I mean, looking at Roku's chart, we did hit some support and kind of bounced off of there, but it's not looking like a surefire. Okay, this is running to 260, 270, or 280. But if big tech just, you know, if the Qs keep heading up, it'll be good for Roku, and Roku will follow.
Yeah, I'll take a look at how I feel about Roku. I mean, Roku really, I mean, we got to think about what do they have in the pipeline? What do they have going forward? What is their idea here? So Roku, I think, is really trying to transition. What are they trying to transition to? Well, first, they were more of a like electronic, right? They were more focused on their Roku player and then the Roku TVs, right? For me, that was a battle to do what? Get inside your home, because the battle first is always to get you to see the brand, see the company. Then from that point, it's teaching you competitive advantage. What do they have that others don't? Right? I think they're in that point now where they're trying to have competitive advantages. And what are they doing? They're opening up their own streaming services. You can get I think it's 40, 60 channels for free. For absolute free on a Roku. Why? Because they're trying to move into the streaming services. I think eventually you start seeing Roku pull let's say a Disney Plus or something like that, where you start seeing a streaming service actually come out of Roku. This could be definitely a move future down the line. But if we're talking right now for Roku, it's all about getting right back to those levels that we saw. We pulled back to 200. Now 200 held very well. The real question is, can we get back to 260? That's the price point that I could see us definitely getting some resistance into. We had this day where we went to 266.05 and we rejected from there. So right now we need to get back above 240s. I do think that a lot of volume came in here. You can see it clearly. Look at the amount of volume that came in on those down days. So that's a good sign, showing you that some people were definitely calling the bottom there. We'll see if that bottom holds. There's a lot of volume that supported it there. I think I need to see it get back to 260 for me to think bullish. But right now it's in a sideways trend. I think somewhere between 200 and 260.
All righty, guys. We are 8 likes away from 420. That is our goal now. We will be giving out our next trade once we hit 420. Let's see. Someone, Matt Miller, gave us a super sticker. He said he bought some GoDaddy call options, $85. So I don't know what is up with Go. I honestly didn't even know.
I got you, bro.
I got you. It's up about 10% today. And just looking at the chart, what I see is that the next kind of resistance that we can run into is at about $86.13. So just based off the technicals, which of course isn't 100%, is showing me that this does have room to run back up to, or run to that $85. And then I would say, Matt, if you're in the money, like I don't know what percentage you're looking at. If you're in the money at $85, I would sell them there, because there's a chance that we hit that $86 we hit that 86 level and kind of reverse from there. So if you're in the money, if you're making money on this trade and we continue to move higher, I would just either trim them or sell them and take your profit.
Definitely, I agree. I mean, it's definitely important to watch for those resistance to come into play and try to sell, especially when we're trying to do day trades. But right here, definitely a good chart. We talked about this one this morning on pre-market prep. What happened is they got a starboard investment. Starboard does not play. A lot of times if they're making investments, they see something on the upside, right? So to me, if you look at the monthly chart had it really nice. 70 support right underneath it. Now trying to go up and take out the high here, closer towards, I think, this high here, 84.40s is where you might run into a little bit of resistance versus the 85. But really, I mean, we're talking about 60-cent difference. There's not too much difference there. Definitely trying to take out that high. Got some support today right out the gates, went up there towards about 82.50, pulled back to VWAP. Nice sideways action on that VWAP. You could have been buying right off of that VWAP and then getting it right back to the high, selling it there towards, let's say, 82.60s. Boom, nailed the day trade. Go daddy. Beautiful trade there, and not a bad move. And a stock that normally I don't think AB or I would ever trade, but today with that catalyst, it made a great move.
Yeah, and we'll have to look at the average volume and stuff, especially for options, because you don't want to get into options on a stock that does not trade a lot or isn't high volatility. You can just get chewed up. Shout out Roy in the chat. GoDaddy just released crypto extensions, .crypto.btc, etc. So certainly a nice catalyst for GoDaddy there. All right, guys, we did hit we're at 425 likes.
What? Happy 420.
Happy 420. As promised, we will get to our next trade idea. I'm ready for it, Mitch.
Oh, I'm looking for it too.
I've got a stock.
What you got for me?
So I'm looking at BAC right now, Bank of America, and I'll tell you why. Okay. Probably for similar reasons you were looking at Visa. So here's the story. Here's the thesis. All the numbers coming out from the holiday shopping season have indicated that it was a very strong season, right? That retail sales were actually higher, not only than last year during COVID, but the year before pre-COVID levels. What that tells us is people are spending money, they're using their credit cards, and there's still inflation out there. Now, inflation is actually good for some of these bank stocks and other financial stocks. So if you look at what like Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley all did when we got high CPI numbers, is they moved higher. So I like Bank of America here because I think as more of these numbers come out showing that, okay, there's strong consumer sentiment, people are spending money, it's going to be good for the financial companies, whether that's Bank of America, whether that's Goldman Sachs, whether it's Morgan Stanley, whether that's, who am I missing? Chase, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, so I'd be looking at these stocks to be having a strong, month.
Definitely. I mean, it's not a bad look. It's something to look into. Definitely on my radar for the watch. I've been calling out for maybe Goldman Sachs and make a run through 400s. For me, that's the one that I'm looking at, but I understand why you're looking at Bank of America. I mean, it's a cheaper price and also moves relatively close to Goldman Sachs in the financials. So for Bank of America, I'd say 45 is that level for me. If it gets to 45, I'm definitely going to get a little bit more bullish on Bank of America and maybe take a swing trade. These are the type of trades that I really do like for swing trades. Some people try to ask, what do you look for in a swing trade? I look for stuff like this that has an outlook like AB says, like you're looking for something to come into play, right? You see technical bottoming action, right? And then also, what do you have? The fundamentals coming into play, right? If we get the interest rates to increase, they should make more money on their loans. Thus, fundamentals point to the upside. Story points to the upside. Technicals point to the upside. We have all three here. That's called a high conviction trade. Regardless of whatever happens, high convictions there, and you could take this as a swing trade. I would take this maybe even now. You could take it off the 44s. But these are the types of trades that I specifically look for in my swing trades.
100%. And you know, like you said, I'm looking at this as a swing trade, you know, maybe for a month or two, ride it from 45, like you said, maybe up to 50, something like that, where it's not like, okay, I'm not trying to, I'm not looking for this stock to double. I'm not looking for it to go from 45 to 90. But I'm looking for a nice little move. And you threw out that $45 level. Looks like on last Thursday, we opened right at 45, and it kind of moved lower off there. So there definitely is some resistance there. So once we get above that level, I agree, Mitch, that we can be a little bit more high conviction that we're bullish on this stock.
Yeah, if anything, maybe, you know, sometimes I like to take a starter position here and then look for the price action to get through the level that I'm looking for the volume to follow, right? So if we look here at the volume, we're going to look here at the volume. We're going to see a downtrend of the volume, right? So if you call like the short downtrend here, you're looking for another pop of this volume when it goes up. So as we go through that 45, I want to see a volume coming into here, into the 70 million range. That's showing me that the bull's really taking control, and we can take this right back on up. Of course, volume never confirms and it never tells you 100%. But what it does do is that a lot of times with the price action, the volume will follow, right? And so if you see that increase in volume, the price breaking out, there you can see, hey, the bull's taking control. I know the level that I need to watch for a breakdown for if the bears take back control. But from that level of breakout, like let's say this 45, once we get through there, I would say bulls have this stock and we're looking for us to get back on up. My out for bears to take re-control of the stock would be 44.
Got it. And then real quick, I do have one more bonus trade I'm looking at. We've got about 5 minutes left. This one is a little bit different than all the other trades that I've talked about today. Do you know why, Mitch?
Why?
Because all the other trades, whether I was talking about Facebook, Fortinet, I was talking about, well, I guess I said Fortinet could be setting up for a short trade sometime soon, not now. But this one is a bearish trade I'm looking at.
All right. What was the ticker again?
It's CCL, Carnival Cruise Lines.
Oh, you're trying to short the cruises.
So, okay, well, here's the things, right? So it's important that we have to talk about time frame, because if we look at a long-term chart, Carnival before COVID hit in January of 2020 was at $50 a share. But if you're just looking at that, what you don't see is that for like 2 years, or at least a year before that, the stock was in a downtrend, right? Do I think that Carnival Cruise Line will be higher than $20 a share or $21 a share where it is right now in 3 to 5 years? Yes, I do. I think because over time, we'll see the cruises pick back up. They'll make more money. But in the short term, what I think we're going to see this week is we're going to see the most COVID cases ever reported in the United States in a single day, whether that's tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday. We saw this last year after the holidays, and now we have Omicron, which is more contagious but less severe. So it means more cases, even though hopefully that means hospitalizations and deaths won't also rise. But that will not be good news for cruise companies. And I think as we see those COVID numbers coming out, we'll see Carnival and some of the other cruise lines start to trade lower. I see a bottom at about $17.50 from December 16th, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That would be about the level that I'd be looking at, about a 10% drop from $21 down to like 19, 18, and then just like a quick 1-2 week short trade. I'm just going to get long puts on Carnival. I'm going to buy the $18 puts that expire probably not this Friday, but next Friday.
Hey, not a bad look. I mean, you're definitely hearing some more news out the cruises. I saw 2 or 3 ships, one reporting, I think, like 51 cases. One reporting that it had to send, it went back to port pretty much, dropped somebody off, went back to Bahamas after that. It's crazy, AB. Well, I actually am going on a cruise in May.
Well, that's if it doesn't get canceled. But yeah, right? I mean, all the news coming out about Omicron is actually very good and like bullish for the market, right? That cases are going up, but hospitalizations aren't. Mm-hmm. There was an article I talked about last week that showed that during the 1918 Spanish flu, that's actually how the Spanish flu kind of ended, was that a different version of the Spanish flu that was more contagious but less severe spread, and essentially everyone got it, but because it was less severe, it didn't like wreak havoc, and then everyone was kind of good to go. So I'm not saying, oh my God, Omicron is like the end of COVID. I hope it is, but I think it could be kind of the beginning of the end. But with that being said, these cruise lines, while Omicron is around and while it's being spread, they don't want to have the liability of having a full ship and everyone's going to catch Omicron, even if it is not as severe, right? It's still a viral disease. You don't want to be responsible for spreading viruses to your customers and stuff. So even though the Omicron news is good, I think the rising cases and stuff will be bad for these cruise line stocks in the short term. Again, in the short term, I don't think like, oh my God, Carnival Cruise Line is going to go to zero and go out of business. I just think the next week or two, we can see it move back down to the $18, $19 level.
I actually am going to go to the other side. So we got a little bit of a lunch bet here. What's your time frame, AB?
I said I'm buying puts for not this Friday, but next Friday. So that would be, let me see. That would be.
We'll give it a week or 2 weeks out.
Friday the 7th. Yep. I think about on Friday the 7th, Carnival will be trading. Well, so here's the thing, because if Carnival, if we get big COVID numbers tonight and Carnival's down 5% tomorrow, I might get out of those puts immediately. And then even if Carnival's up,
we'll give a level. So what's your level on the downside and what's my out on the upside? So
we'll say let's just do $2 both ways. So we'll say 19 on the bottom and 23 on the upside. And you actually get a 6-cent head start, 4-cent head start.
Hey, thanks for the head start, AB.
No problem.
All right, guys. Well, there you guys have it. A little bit of a lunch trade put on there for AB and I. We'll see who wins this one. I'll be watching CCL. My idea is I think the overall market got over hospital like deaths, and it sounds bad, but I think the overall market got over deaths on COVID, and now we're going to get over the infection, where infection doesn't really make anybody freak out anymore. And with that being said, I think you'll start seeing these stocks start going back towards an uptrend. We'll see what happens. I mean, like always, you never know exactly. One thing that is though, RCL, CCL, NCLH, all of these are going to kind of trade similar. We'll see what happens with these. Airlines are the ones that I think will suffer the most from this. I don't think it's a little bit of a different kind of outlook. I think airlines were starting to look a little bit of bullish and thinking that maybe they could get some business travel. But as you guys can see with CES, like a convention like that gets canceled, that was supposed to be in person, but now is not in person. This is a clear example why I would stay away from the airlines, but could also fight for your argument on the other side, AB, with the cruises.
Yeah, and we saw over the weekend a lot of flights being canceled because different airlines had Omicron spreading throughout its staff. And that's what I think we're going to see become, kind of the issue with Omicron. It's not going to be, oh, my God, we all have to protect ourselves from this because everyone's dying from it, because that's not what we know about Omicron. But there will be implications where businesses get hindered because it's so contagious that their staffs we'll be catching it and spreading it. And I gave out a short trade that I made on Darden that worked out pretty nicely into earnings, and kind of for the same reason, right? Because I worked at a Darden restaurant when I was in college. Darden owns Red Lobster, or they used to own Red Lobster. That's where I worked. Now they own Olive Garden, Longhorn Steakhouse, and other businesses. If one waiter goes to work with the Omicron, everyone's going to get it. And then your whole wait staff's going to be out. Whatever. So I don't think, I'm with you, Mitch, that long term, I think we have a great outlook, and I'm bullish on the overall market 100%. I think in the next week, 2 weeks, we can see some of these different names get hit once we see how crazy some of these COVID numbers are.
All right. Well, now one thing that you mentioned a little earlier, and we'll go to it, is the story of good sales for the kind of the winter, right? So let's take a look here. Department stores actually up 2.26% today. Where's that going to show us? Exactly what AB is talking about here. Let's take a look at some of these stocks. So let me go ahead and put this as red so I can switch over to it. So actually, I got to go blue.
Dillard's has been like the best stock of the year.
Yeah. So look at these nice pullbacks that we're getting a little push in. So JWN had pulled back from 35 to 20, now pushing back towards 2260 today. Let's take a look at the daily chart. You have it pushing back there. You also got DDS trying to pull back and push back here. I'd keep an eye on these guys because if these push on up, man, do these stocks kind of rip when they go. So to me, 260 is that level kind of the watch in DDS. You can see kind of this pattern right here, right off the top. So it needs to get back up there through that 260 on the upside, getting towards 280. Once you get to 280, you'll actually have that bullish look back towards 400. We'll see if Dillard's can push on out from these bottoms and get back on up there. It was crazy. I had this drawn out. I wanted to short this bad boy so bad. I drew the circle on the 23rd. The day that we broke here, I was like, man, we should have got short there on the over the weekend, and boy, did this one crack down. Went down to low of 223, coming back there. DDS. Let's take a look at Macy's. Macy's has been one that has been showing strength. Every time it pulls back, it pushes back on up. Nice little bottoming action right here. Let's look at this one. Could keep going up through 27. I would actually be looking at Macy's for swing trades. Macy's seems like the best one. The trends has a nice kind of inverse hammer head and shoulders right here that it popped out of. So I definitely wanted to hold kind of these pullbacks to 25. But for right now, it's looking strong at that 26 spot. Macy's having a good day.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I think we're going to see there's a lot of bullish kind of catalysts out there, right? The one that we got today was that spending was very strong for the holiday season, right? So some potential future bullish catalysts we can get. Maybe the next CPI number that comes out is a little bit lower than expected, showing inflation is finally tapering, stuff like that. So I think overall we have to look. I think we're in a very good position going into 2022. And I hope we continue the Santa Claus rally. Again, going back to my Carnival Cruise Line puts, I think there are certain names that will get hit when we see, oh my God, record-breaking number of COVID cases reported. So let me know in the chat. Let me know what kind of trade ideas you guys have setting up. Looks like we are at 439 likes, so 11 away from 450. We need 11 more to get up to that 450 mark. Once we get to 450, Mitch is going to drop us another trade. So.
All right, guys, I'm actually going to start wrapping us up here. We're at 11:35, guys. We've had an awesome day today. Had some great trades. Scalping Palantir, made about $60 on that trade. Nicola, just a small little gain there, about $20-something. But not a bad day. One short, one long, a lot of looks to the upside today. Tesla was one of those that we looked for the upside move. We looked for NVIDIA to make a nice upside move. We wanted to see that. We wanted to see also Apple make an upside move. All these doing great today. AMD also mentioned before the market opened. That's really what it's all about, guys, is getting towards these. Look, the watch list, what are we looking for? Do we get the open to follow what we were looking at before in the pre-market? As you guys can see, some of these held really well. Lucid did a nice reversal today. Went down, was looking like it wanted to break down, then eventually squeezed on out. So we'll see if that level can hold. That's 37.23s and 36.82s on downside. If those levels hold, I'm still looking at Lucid to reverse here and go to the upside for a swing. You guys can take a look at that also. That's going to do it for me today. Great stocks given out by AB today. Facebook, really nice trade that we watched exactly go through that level of the VWAP. Nice bounce on up there, getting on up there. Another one, ftnt, Fortinet. That was a beauty. Also, VWAP bounce, getting on up there through the highs. We'll see if these continue to move.
Yeah, both those names are kind of running out of steam right now. But then, yeah, then Mitch and I got the lunch bet on CCL. Mitch thinks Carnival Cruise Line will be trading higher in the next 2 weeks. I think it'll be trading lower, so we'll see there. I'll give out my last trade idea, and this one is kind of a flyer. I mentioned this catalyst earlier, but I'm looking at some monthly Netflix calls, so some calls that expire. these are a little bit more expensive, so you can try to make them a little bit cheaper by doing a spread instead of just buying the calls. But I'm looking at some of the $670 calls that expire January 21st of 2022. They're about $573 right now, or $573. Again, my catalyst there is this new Leonardo DiCaprio movie they have out there. If we get preliminary numbers that are showing, oh my God, X amount of millions of people are watching this on Netflix, it's not just about that one movie. It's about the implication of what that means for Netflix's content going forward, that they're going to have the ability to say, hey, we've done this before. They're going to be able to go to screenwriters and say, hey, let us do this movie. We have experience getting actors like Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Tyler Perry, Timothée Chalamet. And they're going to be able to take some of these huge blockbuster movies away from some of the big Hollywood studios. So that is the catalyst I'm looking out for in Netflix. Again, the $670 calls, though, that's more of a flyer, more of a YOLO, but that's my last trade idea of the day.
Yeah, definitely we'll keep watching to see what happens. And yes, Guy, you were right. Not all canceled for the CES, but some did, not all. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, though, right? I mean, if we want business travel to come back, we want to see these in-person events do really well. Not kind of half be canceled, half be online, half be. That's kind of that in-between stage. We don't want that in-between. We want it to be fully reopened, everyone traveling, everyone doing things. That will show us that real reopening trade that we're still looking for. All right. Last thing I'll mention is definitely not to mention a specific name. That's not what it's about. But I just want to tell you guys, no need to spam, names in the chat, guys. Like always, guys, if I see excessive emojis and things like that, it's kind of an instant ban. There's no need for it, guys. Just go ahead and throw your stock up, see what you're seeing on the chart, call out the pattern. If you want to call out a pattern, by all means, I that's what I want to see, guys. I want to see. I'm bullish this name because I see a flag pattern. Boom. Then I don't mind if you're mentioning it once, twice, 3 times, because at least you're giving some value back to everybody that's finding you in the chat. That's going to be it for me, AB. I think that's going to be it until crypto. I think we got Moon or Bust coming at 2 p.m., guys. So if you guys want to learn some crypto action, go check out Moon or Bust. No Benzinga live today. We're going to have to go ahead and take a little bit of a breather. Spencer's out. AB's a little bit busy, and we'll have it back tomorrow, though. So stay tuned, guys. Like always, at the close, we'll be back at 3 o'clock. I'm going to do it a little bit earlier since we don't have Benzinga live. So if you guys want to make it there at 3 o'clock, I would suggest you make it there. We'll talk about some stocks, then bring on, of course, Joel Alconin to go ahead and take a look at the market closing. And last thing, AB, any last comments?
Beautiful. No, I love the Thinker's comment. Don't have a good day. Have a great day, everybody. Also, Hex Pony is asking, was Sandra Bullock the first major star for a Netflix movie, Bird Box? Maybe. I know they did a, what's his name? Mark Wahlberg movie as well. So I don't know. I mean, to me, it's not that the Don't Look Up was the first movie with big stars. It was just if you look at the cast overall, it's like Netflix had to spend a lot of money to get this cast. And so, again, if we get really good numbers out of it, it's not just about, oh, my God, this many people watch Squid Game or this Don't Look Up movie on Netflix. It's that, okay, Netflix is we already know they're a content powerhouse, right? But the one thing they were kind of missing was these big blockbuster movies that you go to and see in the theaters that are made from Paramount or from Fox 21st Century, all these other big Hollywood movie studios. Disney, so if Netflix starts competing in that realm too, to me, it's just a monster.
We'll keep going, guys, bringing the value right here on Benzinga Live Trading, guys. Smash that thumbs up. We'll see you next time. Hit the subscribe bell while you're at it. And like always, guys, we'll keep trading here on Benzinga and see you on the next show.